Hey, Tpusa. Hey, I'm going to start. I don't even know what name I put. With Don Lemon. And the court's not bringing up any charges on him. Shout out to him.
Aggressive stance against.
Let's listen now.
Top stories that we have been following for you is from this post. Bill Melugin on X from Fox News.
Hey, Sharon.
Multiple
Hey,
sources
Janet.
tell me and colleague David Spunt that the federal judge in Minnesota who refused to sign off on an arrest warrant for Don Lemon is Douglas Micko, and that his wife works as an assistant attorney general in Minnesota, AG Keith Ellison's office. So this all comes on really a video that went viral over the weekend of,
Shout out to Don.
of the incident that happened of a storming of a church in Minnesota. A federal judge rejected the Justice Department's initial attempt to bring charges against journalist Don Lemon for appearing alongside protesters who breached a Minnesota church over the weekend there. So there have been multiple arrests already, and I think a lot of people were waiting to see if Don Lemon's
They was
name was
hoping
going
it
to
was
be
gonna be
added.
him.
And that was not the case, at least so far, at least. So let's now bring in our next guest to help break it all down here for us. A friend here of Live Now from Fox, Nima Rahmani, former federal prosecutor. Always great to have you on, Nima. So explain the moment here as federal prosecutors tried to get this for Don Lemon. How does this go about?
Mike, really surprising that federal prosecutors would pursue a case and not even clear probable cause. That's a very low standard. I mean, we've seen it recently
Just
with the Department
haste.
of Justice going to the grand jury and being unable to get an indictment. And here, there was a magistrate judge that said there's not enough probable cause to issue an arrest warrant and arrest Don Lemon. Of course, he's a former CNN anchor, now a reporter who was present there. We've all seen the viral videos from this Sunday with protesters disrupting the proceedings. The question is this unlawful? And there's really two different federal statutes that the three individuals who have been arrested are being charged on. The first is deprivation of civil rights, and the civil rights here being the freedom to practice one's religion. You have competing factors here. Obviously, you have the First Amendment on one side, allows for freedom of speech, which includes the freedom of protest, as well as the freedom of religion. And then there's a second act that's being charged, not typically used, it's called the FACE Act. That's the freedom of access to clinical amendment on one side, allows for freedom of speech, which includes the freedom of protest, as well as the freedom of religion. And then there's a second act that's being charged, not typically used, it's called the FACE Act. That's the Freedom of Access to Clinical Entrances Act. It's typically used for abortion clinics, but it also applies to houses of worship. So certainly an escalation by the Department of Justice, and it's pretty clear in Minnesota and elsewhere, they're going to take a very aggressive stance against these ICE protesters to the extent that they believe that they're engaging in something more than protected activity and speech, and they're obstructing the enforcement of federal law.
Now, Nima, if this incident happened in a more Republican-favorable state, would it have been a different story for Don Lemon?
So what?
Potentially, yes. And again,
if it would have been a red state,
matters, but
hold on. I was chewing. What was the question?
To the extent that they believe that they're engaging in something more than protected activity and speech, and they're obstructing the enforcement of federal law.
Now, Nima, if this incident happened in a more Republican favorable state, would it have been a different story for Don Lemon?
Well, potentially, yes. And again, this is where the judge matters. But the problem with a case like this is, look, if you're the Department of Justice, you don't want to bring cases unless you're going to win. And they've suffered a series of setbacks recently. When you're a federal prosecutor, typically, historically, you don't bring a case unless it's bulletproof, it's ironclad. You don't want to be going to court and losing. You're expected to win every time. And I understand the policy reasons why you want to send a message and protect ICE agents who are enforcing federal law. I understand these laws are unpopular, but if you don't like the law,
Lord, I can't
right, your member of
stand you
Congress
doing
changed
two
the law. I
things
do
at
believe
one time. I be missing with.
potentially, yes. And again, this is where the judge matters. But the problem with a case like this is, look, if you're the Department of Justice, you don't want to bring cases unless you're going to win. And they've suffered a series of setbacks recently. When you're a federal prosecutor, typically, historically, you don't bring a case unless it's bulletproof, it's ironclad. You don't want to be going to court and losing. You're expected to win every time. And I understand the policy reasons why you want to send a message and protect ICE agents who are enforcing federal law. I understand these laws are unpopular, but if you don't like the law, right, your member of Congress changed the law. I do believe that ICE has the right to enforce the law, just like the protesters have the right to make their voice heard, as long as they're not engaging in obstruction or unlawful conduct. But the fact that you have a judge here who doesn't believe there's probable cause with respect to one defendant, Mike, that doesn't bode well for the chance of getting a guilty verdict at trial. You have to convince 12 out of 12 jurors unanimously, beyond a reasonable doubt, the highest standard in the law. One of the individuals who was arrested today, Armstrong, she is a pretty prominent civil rights activist, also an attorney. This is not the type of case that's going to plead out. And again, I have concerns about this case because there's some ready-made defenses here. You have the First Amendment, of course,
Hey,
but you also have the
Samantha.
argument that there's no criminal activity. There was no force. There was no threats. There was no intimidation. There was no unlawful agreement to deprive someone of their civil rights, which is required for conspiracy. So it's going to be a very tough case for the DOJ if they do intend to pursue it all the way.
And Nima, lastly, what do you think was the hang-up for the judge not to see or find the probable cause when there was others that were able to get arrested? What do you think that was?
Mike, I think probably one of the big deals, this is a reporter, right? Here's someone who is present, and obviously we know, the First Amendment protects reporters in this country. It's a very strong defense, And when it comes to speech, we really need to separate speech, even if it's unruly, from criminal conduct. You generally need something more to prosecute someone. Now, there are certain instances where you can make a threat, and that threat is criminal. But short of that, if you are disruptive, you maybe can be prosecuted for trespassing. But these are very significant charges here. The civil rights charges carry potential 10-year sentence in federal prison. The FACE Act, if there's violence, carries a potential 11-year sentence in federal prison. So a judge is probably looking at this saying,
How
hey,
many
here's someone who's a
years? Hold
reporter.
on.
Here's someone
Girl,
who's
pay attention. I
The fact that you
am.
have a judge here who doesn't believe there's probable cause with respect to one defendant, Mike, that doesn't bode well for the chance of getting a guilty verdict at trial. You have to convince 12 out of 12 jurors unanimously, beyond a reasonable doubt, the highest standard in the law. One of the individuals who was arrested today, Armstrong, she is a pretty prominent civil rights activist, also an attorney. This is not the type of case that's going to plead out. And again, I have concerns about this case because there's some ready-made defenses here. You have the First Amendment, of course, but you also have the argument that there's no criminal activity. There was no force. There was no threats. There was no intimidation. There was no unlawful agreement to deprive someone of their
TRC.
civil rights, which is required for conspiracy. So it's
Who
going to
you
be a very
talking
tough
about?
case
Send
for
that.
the DOJ if they do
Oh,
intend
who
to
you
pursue
talking
it all the
about?
way.
And Nima,
TRC.
lastly, what do you think was the hang-up for the judge not to see or find the probable cause when there was others that were able to get arrested? What do you think that was?
Mike, I think probably one of the big deals, this is a reporter, right? Here's someone who is present, and obviously we know, You know, the First Amendment protects reporters in this country. It's a very strong defense, you know. And when it comes to speech, we really need to separate speech, even if it's unruly, from criminal conduct. You generally need something more to prosecute someone. Now, there are certain instances where you can make a threat, and that threat is criminal. But short of that, you know, if you are disruptive, you maybe can be prosecuted for trespassing, but these are very significant
Thank you,
charges
Natural.
here.
Oh,
Civil
no,
rights
we
charges
like
carry
John, baby.
potential 10-year sentence in federal prison.
He didn't do
The
nothing
FACE
wrong.
Act, if there's violence, carries a potential 11-year sentence in
He
federal
didn't do
prison.
nothing wrong.
So a judge is probably looking at this saying, hey, here's someone who's a reporter, here's someone who's disagreeing with ICE, which is his American constitutional rights. I have a concern with this case being prosecuted when there's a very strong defense. I don't think there's enough probable cause, and that's the judge's role as a gatekeeper.
Neva, yeah, it's going to be something.
Yeah, I got Looney in my ear, and he over there playing ain't the DeBarge brothers. What was their name? That Since We Are Lying Here. It start with an S, Lord, I can't. Hey, Melanie. Since we are lying here. That one. But what was the name of the group? The older brothers. La 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 la. He jamming. That's why I couldn't pay attention. A while ago he had Jeffrey Osborne. Lord. And I'm not gonna be long. I just wanted to hear what they had to say about Don Lemon. So shout out to him. He they picking, they mad. Don Lemon didn't do anything. He is a journalist, animated, and he out there doing exactly what he was supposed to. He weathered the storm to get out there in them streets. I don't know if it's the trenches, but he got out there. So shout out to him. Let me hit refresh. Shout out to him for bringing the people what they want. Oh, Lord. Never gonna hate on anybody who out there getting it. You understand? I ain't know. Switch. Yes. Thank you. I mean, he over here jamming. I don't care. A lot of y'all who think y'all straight is exactly what you saying he is. Let y'all go to prison. Let y'all go to prison. And y'all won't even tell nobody. Your president, he played with boys. I mean, what are we doing? I know you won't forget it. I mean, TRC, please don't come over here with that, Please don't. Yeah, as a matter of fact, come back another day. Yeah, I don't like that. You coming in talking about, yeah, no. No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to bully, Don Lemon because he didn't do anything wrong. Okay? Nothing. He was very professional. You know, I'm noticing they want people to act up. He going in, y'all. He is really going in. If I tell y'all what he playing, Howard Hewitt. No. What was that group, Lord? Look on how you're making me feel. You know I never. He jamming, y'all. Shalimar. Hey, Spec. For the lover in you. I think he was humble.
Roku's self-serve
I
ads
appreciate it.
platform.
He is over here
It's easier than
jamming.
ever with Ads Manager. Sign up today. This is Buick now. Buick.
He over here jamming, y'all. I want to get him when he talking about when he got the news.
Welcome to the program, everyone. Support comes from Z-Biotics. It's really good. You can sign up for a $1 per month trial.
I'm trying to get it where he got the
So
news.
yes, they are, whatever. No, they're not. And I'm going to show you an example because this is the protester, the organizer of the protest that I covered, Nikema Levy Arm.
Oh, I guess he found out early.
You don't pull punches with respect to.
Didn't my ideology and what
Shout out to
people
Don. We are
and
not going to
situations
be over
that
here.
need to be exposed and bringing light to a situation, and also just plain old chronicling. So let me just start out and tell you this: before my preamble. This is a caveat to my preamble, is that I went to Minnesota to report. That was my mission, to report. When I got there, my mission was to report. And when I got there, I reported. And that's what I did as a reporter. I was not part of any protest group. I am not a protester. I said several times that I am not a protester. I am a journalist. And so some people don't understand what that means. Maybe
Hey,
you don't have
Dante,
enough.
Dante.
Well, I know the Trump administration doesn't have a healthy respect for journalism or journalists because they attack journalists at every measure.
Mm-hmm.
They have been attacking journalists since Donald Trump first came down the escalator and started calling the media the enemy of the people, or fake news, or the fake media. So, and they do that because they know the truth is not on their side. The Constitution is not on their side. Donald Trump lies more than he breathes. And members of the Trump administration have taken
Y'all
on that
please
same
hit the
mantle.
like
They are
button
the same
coming
thing.
in.
The fish rots from the head.
So much love.
And so that was my intent, was to go and tell you, Lemon Nation, what was happening on the ground. And that's what I said in all of my videos. I'm going because I want to know. It's the same reason I went to Chicago. It's the same reason I went to Ukraine. It's the same reason I reported from India, that I reported from all places, all over the United States, all over the world. Presidential elections, from presidents to janitors to secretaries to cleaning ladies to lawyers, whoever. I've interviewed everybody. And that is what journalism is supposed to be about.
Absolutely.
I believe wholeheartedly, 100%, in the First Amendment. And I believe that journalists take an oath, much as doctors and lawyers do, to do no harm. And by doing no harm, that means transparency and exposing people and situations that
I
need to
don't
be
know.
exposed.
I
and
guess
bringing-
it could bring harm to somebody if they, are in denial. It could hurt their feelings, but sometimes I don't know. It can, the truth hurts some people. So I'm just say tell the truth. And if it's not the truth, try to minimize that. Sometimes how you feel is not necessarily, well, it's your truth, but it may not be the truth. Or it may not be right. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Sometimes how you feel may not always be right. But I always tell the truth. I always try to bring the truth. Yeah. It irritates me to no end when people just intentionally lie. Yeah. It irritates me. Let's go.
lawyers, whoever. I've interviewed everybody. And that is what journalism is supposed to be about. I believe wholeheartedly, 100%, in the First Amendment. And I believe that journalists take an oath, much as doctors and lawyers do, to do no harm. And by doing no harm, that means transparency and exposing people and situations that need to be exposed and bringing light to a situation. And also just plain old chronicling and recording what is happening in the world. So that is what journalists are supposed to do. And look, and I've got a couple of words for journalists, because more than anything, journalists, I want you to understand this. I know that it is the corporation. It's the corporation that is, or the corporations
giving life to them.
that have really done you guys dirty.
He was let go a long time ago unjustly, and you know they have a way of trying to make it seem like that's the end of you. I'm going to end you.
My departure. I don't really.
And no, the answer is no.
Think about it that much, honestly, because I've moved on and we have built a fantastic community here. And thank you so much. Again, make sure you hit the thumbs up and hit the like and subscribe. Okay.
Like and subscribe.
So I don't usually like to talk about that, but I was a canary in a coal mine. I saw this coming along. Now, all of the complete honesty, right? I don't know if it gets me in trouble or whatever.
I use PayPal to buy this ticket. I'm paying it off over time. No fees, no interest.
You know what else is no interest?
Sometimes you have to not care. I'm gonna say that. It's like the other day. I get that. I knew that I was sometimes I know I'm taking a chance. Sometimes I know I am. And sometimes you have to, if that makes any type of sense. That's why, for the most part, I don't try to go extreme, but sometimes you have to, take a chance. And some of the truths that we have come into the knowledge of, it's some people out there who don't want it out. They don't want it out. He was with CNZ for 16 years. Yep. To make people shut up like him. Enjoy. Absolutely. And in their mind, they feel like you wasn't entitled. No way. They forget that, they forget what they have whitewashed. Yeah, they tend to forget, and some just don't know. They always believe that what they see is what it is. Yeah, but now majority of the stuff y'all took from us. So no, we are entitled if we're gonna keep it real. So no, you can't. You can't. That's why they want to incite us. They want us to react. They want us, and they like these niggas they done came, made it to a level that they won't even act the fool with us. Nah. As long as you don't touch us. For the most part. And that's what they want. And that Black Panther guy, I was looking at him the other day, and I meant to tell y'all this. I looked at him, and I kept looking at him, and I said, he looked familiar. And if y'all watch that Black Panther little video I put up, I was like, do not take the bait. This is a bait. He was a cute guy, but it was straight up bait. And then I kept looking. I said, he looked like the guy who snitched on dang, if I wouldn't have, in California, the big guy. Just lost his son. I can't think of his name. He looked like that brought down that y'all know what's the name of the gang? Rolling 60s. He looked like the guy who snitched on him. Because I kept saying, don't take the bait, don't take the bait. They want us to react. Why would he go out there like that? And he talking about he in Philly. And we finna stand up and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then when I looked at him, I like, he looked like that guy who snitched on Big D, big somebody. I can't think of his name. Big, and the FBI, the police turned around maybe about a couple of weeks later. Big U, yeah, him. He looked like him to me. The guy who drove by one of his houses and saw that they was raiding it. And I said, yeah, because see, that man, the FBI agent, the feds gave him a little necklace. Like he was an official. And I thought about it. I said, yeah, he probably working for them to incite shit. Gonna be reporting. They always said, even with the Panthers, CIA was involved with that. So I'm just saying, we have rose to a different level. If you don't put your hands on us, we don't always have to react. But if you cross that line, that's a different thing. So when they start stripping on purpose, it's to punish. See, Trump is big at that. He like to punish people. So shout out to all of us who have been what they think of as stripped, like they gave us something. I'm taking DEI because without DEI, y'all can't rise to the occasion. Yeah, we can. Yes, we can. Most of the inventions came from us. What are you talking about? Y'all just took the credit for it. It came from us. So shout out to Don. Shout out to Don for staying the course. But we got to be mindful that they absolutely will put a mole up in there to infiltrate, to make us react. And we got to be mindful. If y'all remember not long ago, maybe 2 or 3 months ago, I let y'all hear the two officials talking about what their plan was, and as far as moving back into slavery, and they said black people not gonna go for that. And then he said, how, and what can we do? And he said, women and kids. In their mind, they was finna start that all over again, grabbing people, make them servants or slaves. And when they done grabbed all of them, then what's next? Once they get rid of the immigrants, what's next? So we got to stay woke. Let's go.
Something that I haven't said before, okay? Because I usually don't like to talk about in my time at CNN and my departure. I don't even really think about it that much, honestly, because I've moved on and we have built a fantastic community here. And thank you so much. Again, make sure you hit the thumbs up and hit the like and subscribe.
They really trying. They're trying to bait us.
I don't usually like to talk about that, but I was a canary in the coal mine. I saw this coming along. Now, all of the complete honesty, right? I don't know if it gets me in trouble or whatever.
Let's go.
You may have heard a whole lot of shit and read a whole lot of shit that was written about me when I left CNN, or just during the last months that I was at CNN. And all of a sudden, we get new management that comes in, and then this new narrative about me comes in that I'm this bad person when I worked there for 16 years, and everybody loved me. I gave everybody an opportunity.
That was the problem.
Women,
everybody loved you.
It didn't matter. If you were new, come on the show. So all of that shit that you heard and wrote about me, that wasn't true. Most of it, if not all of it, was not true. But it was coming from inside of the house, meaning CNN and CNN's PR people, because the parent company did not want me there because my ideology and the way that I questioned conservatives and the Trump people did not line up with what they wanted.
Was it the Trumps?
That is the God's honest truth on my mother's life. So all that stuff about, he said this about Nikki Haley, that was not a big deal. What I was saying about Nikki Haley is that that's how society treats women.
I didn't know it was Trump.
They used that as a predicate to get rid of me because I didn't my ideology and what I believe journalists should do did not line up with what they thought or what they wanted or what they were capitulating to. I kept asking, why are we putting these people on the air who lie all the time? What is what's our rule, our protocol for election deniers? What's our protocol for insurrection deniers or liars?
Dropping
Like,
it.
what's our policy on that? They never had an answer.
Mm-hmm.
We need to make room for Republicans, and we are going to take this person who you are working, sitting right next to, and we're going to use her to leverage our relationship with Republicans. A quote, I swear to you, on my mom and my life. That is what happened to me. So that is the truth. I'm a journalist. I have to tell the truth. So that's what happened to me at CNN. And so I saw all of this shit coming because I knew from experience that it happened to me. And I was shocked by the people who were so desperate to keep their jobs. I'm talking about management.
That'll work.
That they just went along with
He
it.
started questioning authority.
And I said,
and they
this
wanted
is
to
the
bring
end
him
right
down a
here.
peg. Yeah.
Because I looked at that company as the gold standard for journalism. And then when that company came in and said that, they said it before they even got there. They wanted me gone. And I know that for a fact. You know, I know people.
Right.
I am friends with people who ran that company. They want you gone, Don. Be careful.
Yep. They can come in on, oh, no, he's not going to work.
Because what?
Hey, Money Trucking.
Because they want to move the network
Look
to
at
the
that
right.
star by your name. Y'all better get y'all
And that
star.
shit never works. And I told them it would never, ever work. People who watch Fox News are not going to watch you. And so now the same thing or similar thing has happened to CBS. And look at what's happened. The evening news has lost almost a quarter of its audience. Because, not because of journalism. Well, it's because of the lack of journalism.
Well, that's how Candace and Charlie got wrapped up in there, being loyal. Loyal to, and
trying to take networks into certain
listen,
directions.
I absolutely
because
understand loyal to a fault. And let me tell you something, you can be so loyal, people will know how you move, and they'll know how you operate, and they will trap you. They'll set a trap for you. You can be so loyal, they know how you move. And the minute you start moving different, especially when you done peep their game, you understand? And you move a little different, they be like, whoa, yeah, wait. You going, wait, what you doing? You moving different. Absolutely. Why you moving different? I just felt a need for change. That's all right, right? Yeah, but, yeah, no, ain't no but. I'm just moving a little different. That's all right, right? Yeah, because they had set a trap for you. So we got to be mindful of that. Being loyal. And you know, majority of the time it's the ones you loyal to that betray you. There's just no way you can ever be betrayed if you don't trust the person. You don't trust them, you know. You ain't kind of loyal to them. They can't betray you. They can't hurt you. That's just somebody you don't know doing whatever it is they doing. You gotta stay woke. Let's go.
they think it's going to get them more viewers. But really what it is because the ideologies of the people that they believe are sitting in those seats are standing out there reporting and anchoring. It doesn't line up with the ideology of the people who are sitting in the boardrooms or the owners. Those rich people, mostly those rich white men, they want to turn on television and see what they think and feel and how they think politically. They want to see that mirrored right back to them. They want to have their beliefs and ideology reinforced and reconfirmed. And they don't want someone like me giving them that news.
And they don't want nobody like you telling them when they're wrong. Like, what we doing?
Journalism is about everything, having every conversation without fear or favor.
Now I can't go that far. I can't go that far. I have favor. Can I keep it real? I have favor. I ain't
Love
gonna.
you or like you or whatever ideologically, if it doesn't play into how I believe, that does not matter. I'm there
Well,
to
that part,
report.
yeah. I get that part.
And so whether someone should be in a certain group, whether a certain group should be in a certain place or not, that is not my job as a journalist to decide. My job is to cover it. There were many people during Black Lives Matter and when there were protests, and they were saying they should not be protesting here. Now, what if the media had not chronicled that? What if someone said, you can't go, that group over there is in an area that is not cordoned off, and then that group goes over there. Are you going to go, we can't go over there and report this? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Journalists, I hope you're listening to me. I think that journalists need to stand up instead of capitulating. And that is the only way that we're going to get past this moment. You do not capitulate to a bully. In this administration, they are bullies. And so you have to introduce people to the word no. Now, again, this is not just about me. I'm talking about the broader context of this, and I'm going to bring some folks in to talk about that. But this is much bigger than me. We are at a very critical point in the history of this nation. Look at what happens when dictators and authoritarians, look at what happens in Tehran and Iran, everywhere. When they want to become dictators or authoritarians and take over a country, what do? The first thing they do is get rid of the media. They shut off the radio. They have state-run TV. They have state-run radio. They have state-run newspapers. And that's what's happening right now. Look at what happened at ABC with George Stephanopoulos. George Stephanopoulos talked about Donald Trump and E. Jean Carroll. Now, I mean, some people say maybe his structure wasn't right, but he quoted someone from the Washington Post where a judge said that it was akin to rape.
He's been all
The
his
judge
time.
said that, and ABC paid tens of millions of dollars.
Dry, tight skin
Yeah.
after washing? Not today, babe. My hyaluronic acid sheen is
Yeah, that's wrong.
It keeps my skin hydrated.
Thank
also.
you
I use
for
the gel
my
cleanser to
first
wash
goal.
away dirt and makeup. Then I use.
Let me see. Thank you, Melanie. Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for everybody for all y'all support. I greatly appreciate it. But right now I'm looking at this
That's what
green
a
sticker.
judge said from the
Y'all hit
Washington
that like
Post.
button and then turn around and hit mine too. Hit this one first and then hit mine. How about that?
People are afraid. This is a chill. They're trying to chill journalists.
They're trying to
These people want
take
you
away
to
our freedom of
report
speech.
Only the things that they want to report. And look, that is not my opinion. Those are the rules.
Mm-hmm.
That's the edict of the Defense Department. Ask Pete Hegseth, who made journalists sign papers that they had to have what they were writing or going to release cleared by the agency. Are you kidding me?
Really?
Are you out of your mind?
That's how y'all know Donald
news
Trump losing his
organizations,
mind.
Stop selling out your journalists. Let them report on the news. Stop
They don't
trying
want
to
all
move
the independent
the
journalists
journalism in the direction of
and rapper producers in the rap industry didn't want independent artists either, did they? But I'm gonna keep on trucking.
Republicans or MAGA or this administration. And if you were trying to do it to the left, I would say the same thing, but that's not what's happening. Nobody's trying to move anything to the left. But you're trying to move things to the right. Not only is it unseemly, it's un-American. And you don't deserve
They're
to
trying
be
to force
journalists
it.
or in the business of journalism if you do that. So, look, I stand proud and I stand tall. This is not a victory lap for me because it's not over. They're going to try again, and they're going to try again. And guess what? Here I am. Keep trying. That's not going to stop me from being a journalist. You're not going to diminish my voice. Go ahead, make me into the new Jimmy Kimmel if you want.
Gotta have
Just do it.
got a white one, now it's a black
Because
one.
I'm not going anywhere, and I'm going to believe the same
And it's funny
things,
how
whether you
Candace
want
got
to, whatever.
a
Now, let
cease
me
and
just tell you
desist
something
letter.
here else before I get to my guests. None of this is about justice.
Right.
This is about power, and it's about people who are incompetent. It's not about justice. You know how I know it's not about justice?
It's about not wanting it's about the mashed potatoes on the head. Come on, y'all. It's about his brother dumping the mashed potatoes on the head and the whole table laughing at him. And he don't like to be humiliated. He don't like to be wrong. You won't be humiliated if you just convince yourself or tell yourself you're not always right. Just be real with yourself. And people need to stop making it seem like he's right when he's not. Because everybody's not afraid.
Because I have the best attorney in the country, I believe, to deal with this, who takes on this administration without fear at all. And this attorney has worked with some of the worst accused criminals in history. And even those people, just like Donald Trump, who is a 34-time convicted felon,
and people need to stop.
Yeah,
and that's why people be saying, "Oh, he's not been charged. He's never done anything." Yes, he has.
Activists in Minneapolis or Minnesota, why you see a perp walk, which they were supposed to get rid of that, right? Because they said they were unconstitutional. Why you see that? Because they want those images out there. They want to embarrass people.
So that's how he feels, y'all.
Come here to do that. They wouldn't let me self-report. They want to see that. Now, did you see Donald Trump in handcuffs? And he was convicted.
Absolutely.
34 times, and would be convicted even more if he were not president of the United States.
Absolutely.
And so when I asked counsel and people, well, why is this happening? And one person who I respect the most, this doesn't come from my counsel, who I really respect, said, because they're giving you the N-word treatment. Because they want people to know that. Because they have dumbass people who are grifting like Megyn Kelly out there saying, arrest, arrest. And then gay-ass Benny Johnson out there, arrest, arrest, arrest. It's like, get out of the closet, Benny. Why don't you get out of the closet and stop? You're in a jail of your own, reportedly, allegedly. Trapped in the closet, reportedly, allegedly. You have people like those two who are out there, and they are simply grifting. Megan doesn't believe that shit. And if she does, she's
somebody
a
out there
very dumb
recording
lawyer.
it and reporting it.
If she doesn't understand that.
Before I believe
and by
it.
the way, for people like that, when you're saying, this applies to this and this applies to that, yeah, it applies to the protesters. I wasn't a protester. And everybody knew that if my name was in it, that it would be big news. Oh my God, we got this one. And not the people who are on the ground who are doing great work, meaning the journalists who are there, not the protesters. That's a whole different thing. People can protest. They have their First Amendment rights. And they are allowed to protest. But I was not a protester, nor am I a protester. What I do is bring people the story. And that's it. And so,
keep doing you.
Over the last couple of years since I've left CNN, I could have just sat on my laurels. And I said, you know what? I need to have a voice during this election. And so I started the Don Lemon Show on the Don Lemon channel on YouTube.
Okay. I thought he was going to go into details about it. I mean, I want to hear his rant, but because I'm happy for him. But I gotta get on. Y'all hit the like button. Oh, boy, was talking about Candace, and you know, I don't know why they think they hurting her. They giving her life. They they really are. Old boy trying to shame her, and she had to clap back at him. The old boy talked about it, and where is it at? He talked about Oh, not that one. The other one. About Reuben grooming that boy.
Shortly thereafter, the kid quit and moved to,
Grooming.
if I'm correct, Texas is where he moved to. And I was very happy that he did that because it was very obvious to me that they were grooming him into thinking he was a homosexual because he was just probably an
Shout out
inexperienced,
to
shy
Jimmy.
kid. That's the reason I stopped being friends with him.
Grooming. All of that falls up in there. Grooming. Let's go.
And I never shared that story.
Undercover.
I stopped being friends with Dave. Shortly thereafter, the kid quit and moved to, if I'm correct, Texas is where he moved to.
Reuben
And
needs to stop.
I was very happy that he did that because it was very obvious to me that they were grooming him into thinking he was a homosexual because he was just probably an inexperienced, shy kid. That's the reason I stopped being friends with Dave Rubin. I never shared that story.
Okay, so here's Candace Owen talking about Dave Rubin.
Real reason that I stopped being friends with Dave Rubin is a situation that made me extremely uncomfortable and made me feel that Dave Rubin was a groomer, okay? Hand to God, this happened. Hand to God. Dave Rubin hired a person who worked with me on my team, not exclusively for me, at Prager University. And that he was very young. If I had to guess, he was 18 years old. It might have been 19, young, just starting, and he was ready for the next step in his career. He then decided he was going to move to Miami to work for Dave and his husband.
A groomer.
And when Dave told me this, again, I was very green, and a lot of times, if you even go back, you can find me like not really sure about my ideas about
He
like
has been convicted.
gay marriage and abortion, whatever. So he says to us, "Oh, we were friends.
He's just
We're
not
going
doing
to,
his
you
time."
know,
Who you
hire
talking about?
him."
Donald
And
Trump?
it's so crazy. He has a really rigid Christian household, and his parents are fearful for him to come work for two homosexuals in Miami. And I was like, "That's so ridiculous. Like, what do they think's going to happen? You know?" Fast forward. I
Naive.
see Dave Rubin again, hand to God, and he says to me and my husband that him and his husband, and I will tell you, this kid was.
But just so you know, Dave Rubin's husband's name.
Looking to hire? ZipRecruiter delivers candidates
He's
with
been
the right
convicted.
skills and
He's
experience
just not
fast.
doing his time. He needs to
So
do his
fast,
time.
4 out of-
Everybody else got to do their time in the slammer.
Dave.
See, I don't like that.
Oh, is that like when I went to Hawaii and I
Everybody
saw
got
these gay couples where they both, one guy looked like the other guy from the future? They both look like each other.
Everybody
Same
got to do their
mustache
time.
and shit. Like
But
they're weird
I just thought,
narcissists.
That's why he feel like he can still
to me,
do
it
it.
was interesting because my filthy mind goes directly to sex. Like when you're having sex and you call out the other person, you're saying your own name.
Yeah, it's called gay narcissism. Liberace had it.
That's
is
why
his
he
name
feel
Dave
like he
Rubin?
can
And then they should
continue to do
hyphenate
it.
their names, Dave Rubin.
Here we go. So anyway, that's off topic. But here,
But
so,
I know that groomer. I've seen that. I'm not gonna say who, but I've seen that done before to people.
so
that
let's
like some shit,
let's
yeah.
finish this video and then we'll talk about it.
His husband, and I would tell you this kid was extremely shy. One of those kids that blushes very easily and just a shy kid, just a normal shy kid.
So this kid who's like 18 or 19 years old, who used to work for Candace, is now going to Florida working for Dave Rubin, and she's saying he's a very shy kid, blushes, he's very shy.
He tried
And
to
he
plant
said,
that seed in him.
We think he's secretly gay. And so we've been like,
So why would
egging
he
him
even
to
tell
like
her
just
that?
like experiment and to like hook up with a guy or to see like that's what it is. We think that that's why he's so shy. Like he's diagnosing this young male as suffering from repressed homosexuality because he's shy.
Right.
Like I don't know. Does he recognize that nobody even thinks this way? The idea of me prodding the
know.
narrative about whether or not one of my employees is a virgin,
checking her
or they
temperature to
slept
see
with
if she was
men
gonna
and women, like,
say
that's not
something
normal. That's not a normal
negative.
thinking pattern, okay? What ends up happening is he then says that they compelled him or supported him, not compelled him, but pushed him to go on a date with a guy and to have his first kiss. Shortly thereafter, the kid quit and moved to, if I'm correct, Texas is where he moved to. And I was very happy that he did that because it was very obvious to me that they were grooming him
she
into
was
thinking
gonna
he
be
was a
like, wait a
homosexual
minute,
because he was just
what?
probably an inexperienced, shy kid. That's the
Like
reason I
me.
stopped being
I
friends
would've
with
been
Dave
like,
Rubin.
what?
I never
No,
shared that
wait a
story
minute, what?
until the audacity of this person who has told me about
Why
how he's
would
done
you
drugs
assume
with
that?
Peter Thiel. And also, you want to talk about being a bad friend? How about the fact, Dave Rubin?
Okay, well, here's she goes on to tell you about a bad friend also. So, turns out this would be bad friend, but let's listen.
And also, you want to talk about being a bad friend? How about the fact, Dave Rubin, also while we're on the topic, sorry for this rant, but I gotta get this Kanye out, that he complained he's such a cheap ass, okay, that it was one of the reasons him and Charlie had a falling out.
That's anti-Semitic.
Yeah,
Anyway, here we
put
go.
the
We'll get
dirt
to that in
out
a
there.
second. He likes to live above his means, and he told me that he needed $5 million to buy some house in some swanky neighborhood. So he went to his friend, billionaire Peter Thiel, and asked for $5 million, and
You
they
understand?
worded
Y'all
it as
see
like a
that
bridge
Thiel
loan
guy?
or whatever. And
Who
so
he turn out? Didn't he
wasn't
turn
like
out
was
somebody
gonna,
allegedly?
have the money, but it was going to be a bridge loan. So Peter Thiel gives him $5 million with friends like these, right? It's great. I mean, it's amazing.
Who among us?
But Peter Thiel then asked for a percentage, like, you know, yeah, I'm going to loan you this money, but if I'm going to be the bank of Thiel, you're going to pay interest. And he was, I can't believe he's a billionaire. This should be a drop in a bucket. He could just give me the $5 million. And he's going to make me pay interest. He's literally talking trash about a guy that loaned him $5 million.
Yeah.
Right? Currently, he had loaned him $5 million. He was talking trash about him. So I just wanted to say that because that's actually what happened. That's the real reason I stopped being friends with him. And the audacity of him to then lie when he knew better than anybody how close me and Charlie were. He was there when Charlie hired me. He was there when the Kanye tweet happened because of an event that all three of us were there. He knew better than anyone that Charlie and I were friends and that we remained friends until the very end. And he's publicly lying because I won't support Israel. He wants to help them win the ghost of Charlie Kirk. When the reality is, Charlie's viewpoints on Israel changed. Over the last year, they had been changing because of the pressure that was coming to him by donors to control what he was saying and thinking and who he could invite to his own events.
I just want to
rant.
I just want.
Whoa!
Wow, I am so into this, Jimmy.
Wow.
I'm so into it.
Okay.
So that grooming thing, okay, she's like, who thinks like this? Well, I'm not going to say people at work don't think like that, but to actually follow through is usually a restaurant job where you all work at a restaurant or a bar, not at a white-collar job. That's
right.
completely inappropriate. At a white-collar job, can you imagine your boss being like, you got to try your first kiss?
At a white collar, no, but
That's the only thing I've seen is a Love Actually. They did that.
Yeah, be careful out there.
I worked in nightclubs my whole life, and that kind of shit happens all the time.
Right.
Yeah, all the time. Right.
So that kid was probably
I
a
used to-
Christian nerd.
I remember I was working at a club one time, and after the show, they would have a dildo flinging contest, literally.
Where my girl worked, they set up a sexual harassment day because
Okay, let's
because
move
the
on.
boss was closeted gay and wanted to hit on this one guy. So he goes, "Hey everyone, we're doing a sexual harassment night. If you're cool, you can hang. If not,
Nope. Can't deal with that one. Okay, Candace. I think it's one more, baby girl. I was trying to keep it you, but these people playing, they play different. They play different. I'm trying to. I just saw the other one. He thinks she knew.
We're Maurice's, and we're here to give you that styled feeling.
Yeah, so she put that bug out there. He grooming. And right now, that's not the bug you want. Especially with Trump now.
So one of the things that we've seen a lot of is right-wingers sort of vying to carry the mantle of Charlie Kirk's ideology and philosophy. So you have like the Zionist right-wingers are saying like, he was one of us, he was totally a Zionist, he loved Israel and Netanyahu. And then you have the anti-Zionist right-wingers who are going, no, he was going to turn on Israel, it was going to happen any moment, I have texts that prove it, etc., etc. And so here's one of the things that was posted by the pro-Israel Republicans to try to use Charlie's legacy to shit on what Candaceowens is doing right now. Watch this.
It is very tempting to engage in, let's just say, deep internet theories that quite honestly are rooted in lunacy.
Sigmund Freud was a Kabbalist. They are trying to use psychology to make their religion the religion of the world.
And we see this with the Jew hatred, where people think that they're onto something, but in reality they're not.
The nation of Israel may have been
Well, she
established by
was.
some scientists.
This particular affliction blames the Jews for everything.
Drugs, prostitution, sex pornography. We Jews
a
love
lot.
pornography.
You're going out of your way to try to create this big web of connections, and it's the Jews, and it's the Jews, and it's the Jews.
Who is in control of the White House? And Nick Fuentes wrote a one-word response. Jews.
You want to talk about low IQ,
I
blaming an
know.
entire group for all of your problems.
These 6 individuals
I
that
know
I
he
am
wished.
showing you
Well, he can't
were
wish
the most
now, but
murderous of those
she
individuals. The
was on to
majority of
something.
them were Jews.
Anyone with a decent moral compass should reject the scapegoating of Jews.
Jewish people were the ones that were trading us. Jewish people were in control of the slave trade.
Your obsession with this group of people is so unhealthy.
Where did the idea of a concentration camp come from? Who created those gulag systems? The majority of them were Jewish men.
You think synagogue is the synagogue of Satan.
This is a synagogue of Satan, powerful group of elites.
The Israeli government does not do everything right, but they're not to blame for all of the world's ills either.
It was just
Trying to
convenient
keep it
for
in the
Israel
closet.
that JFK got shot. It was convenient for Israel, by the way, when the towers went down.
Israel's 9/11 is a rather anti-Semitic thing to say.
The Israelis that were working at the World Trade Center who were forewarned of the attack.
So you get the gist of it. This was posted by the pro-Israel right-wingers. Be like, see, Charlie was with us. Now, of course, the story's a lot more complex than this because it is true that in the waning days of his life, there are text messages that prove, and nobody doubts that they're accurate, that he did say, I'm going to turn on the pro-Israel people because he felt like they were giving him a ridiculous amount of unnecessary pressure because he dared to have like Tucker Carlson at his TPUSA events, and he would air out the disagreements on Israel at the TPUSA events. Pro-Israel people didn't like that. He felt like they were pushing back too aggressively. He's like, they're leaving me no choice but to turn on them. So that's also true, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you can see they're fighting over Charlie's legacy. Oh, no, Charlie's with us. No, Charlie's with us, okay? So in step Dave Rubin. Dave Rubin, who probably is, if not the dumbest political commentator that's out there today, one of the dumbest political content creators that's out there today.
He definitely turned.
He got absolutely bodied by Joe Rogan. Remember that when they argued about like building regulations and stuff, and somehow Joe Rogan, who also doesn't know all that much about this stuff, still managed to destroy him.
That's the day it felt like the world stood still
this.
for me.
I haven't said it publicly before, but it's finally worth mentioning. The last time I saw Candace at my house in 2022, all she talked about for an hour was how much she hated Charlie. I remember it vividly because the other two people she was ranting against that night were Ivanka and Jared. Which, by the way, he's saying this because, like, the reaction from the establishment right-wing people, oh, you hate Ivanka and Jared? How could you? Who the fuck likes Ivanka and Jared? Jared took $2 billion from Saudi Arabia. He's a total fucking sellout. He's profiting off of misery around the world. Anyway, I digress. I remember vividly because the other two people she was ranting against that night were Ivanka and Jared, whom we had just met and had dinner with a few days before. Ugh, gross. And who couldn't have been kinder or more decent people. Please. Yes, that is 100% true. And when she claims this didn't happen or it's a Zionist lie, ask her if she enjoyed the chicken parm. Okay, so Candace sees that and she goes, hell no, you go fuck yourself, Dave Rubin. So she fires back and says, this is completely and utterly made up, LOL, sheer fiction. You guys are so positively desperate to rewrite Charlie's history that we are moving to fantasy. But since the internet is now interested if it's cool, I'd like to now share the story about why I decided to stop being friends with you after you bizarrely opened up to me about how you hired a young Christian male who used to work on my show at PragerU. Huh? You told me his parents were overbearing Christians who were concerned about him moving to Miami to work for a gay couple. Sure enough, the next time we saw you, you told us a story about how you and your husband just knew that he wasn't shy, but that he was more likely secretly gay, and how you were encouraging him to experiment with guys and explore his sex life.
Oh, wow.
You told me and George that you then encouraged him to go on a date and then to have his first kiss with a man. Shortly thereafter, he quit your show and moved from Miami. I was positively sickened by this story because I knew this kid, and yes, he was shy, and the fact that you questioned him about his virginity and dating life and encouraged him to kiss a boy makes you a groomer in my book. And then she says,
wow,
should we get into what you told me about your night in Hawaii with Peter Thiel, or is the above enough perversion for one morning? Hey, yo! Hey, yo! No, what the fuck?
She could slang that dirt, can't she?
Nah, I don't want to think about this. I want to talk about this. What? Is she implying here that Dave Rubin fucked Peter Thiel?
Oh.
Or sucked him off?
Oh, wow.
Is that what she's implying here? Quote, should we get into what you told me about your night in Hawaii with Peter Thiel, or is the above enough perversion for one...
That's a lot of that pickle eating going on, ain't it?
Make a win.
Oh, wow.
Well, if you were wondering where the Rubin Report gets their fucking funding from, I think we have a new theory. Allegedly, a billionaire by the name of Peter Thiel, who maybe has some special relationship with Dave. Oh my God, bro. God damn. Holy shit. Bro, I love it when the girls fight like this. Because they are some messy-ass drama queen.
Yeah.
bitches. I remember back in the day when it was the left that was always at each other's throats and everybody was always arguing with each other. And, it was nonstop for like 3 years straight. I remember being
better
kind
leave
of
her
jealous
alone.
of the right, thinking like, how are they always on the same page and they're never fighting with each other? There's never any infighting. There's never any like petty disagreements. They're always just right to the same script over and over. And then here we are in the year of our Lord 2026, and that shit has totally flipped. Now everybody on the left is attacking the proper targets on the right, and everybody on the right is attacking other people on the right.
Where the
you
bodies
got Nick
are.
Fuentes and Tucker Carlson, they were allies, then they were fighting with each other. You have Nick Fuentes and Candace, they were allies, then they were fighting with each other. You got those three, and they're up against like Mark Levin and Ben Shapiro and fucking some of the other right-wingers online. Now Dave Rubin comes in from the top rope to go after Candace, but Candace smacks his ass back down and basically says that he sucked off Peter Thiel and that he does all sorts of perversion and he tries to turn his straight young male workers gay, working at like, goddamn, let them fight.
To whatever,
let
to
them
each
fight.
his own, but
because at the end of the day, if you really
leave
think
me
about it,
out
at the end
of
of the day, all these assholes have is drama. Because what do they actually believe? What does Candace actually believe? Well, we know she's huge on conspiracism, right? She's like the new version of Alex Jones, and that's why Alex Jones is so pissed off at her, by the way, and continuing to go after her, because like she's now what he was. She surpassed him in being successful doing it. So,
that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This is just wild. This is just wild to see. I love that they're at each other's throats. I love that they're ripping each other to shreds. I love that they're destroying the movement from
men
within.
to try to compete with a woman,
Candace fundamentally believes in nothing, so she's gonna just
with a female ways.
spin her wheels in the same place with all the conspiracy stuff, which is great. I love that she's a kamikaze going after other people on the right. Dave Rubin is fucking embarrassingly useless and has no semblance of an audience, but you got other people on his side that are just, they go out on their shows every day and they just beg for war with Iran. That's what Mark Levin was doing. We better
Stop trying to compete with females.
What are
I'm
you
gonna look
doing,
at you
Mr.
funny.
President? I demand you. This is what the right has become.
Keep that over there.
Warmongers, corrupt fools, insane conspiracy theorists, and people who yell at each other and accuse each other of fucking various billionaires.
Okay, yeah,
Correct me if I'm wrong, though, but
Let's
isn't
go.
Candace's husband mega wealthy? Or like...
Yeah. She married up. Oh wow. Okay, let's move on to Candace. It's too vulgar out here. Oh my. They talking about
the strangest part isn't
it done got vulgar out in them streets. Where is she at? Hold on. Did I accidentally drop her? It done got vulgar. I don't know if my ears can handle it. Hold on.
All right, you guys. Arizona, you should know, is an at-will employment state. What that means is that employers
get the
can
lights
fire
up, please.
you for any reason at all. It's not illegal for them to do so, but the question is it immoral for them to do so after the company rakes in $250 million off the back of its founder's assassination, and employees are working overtime to help make that happen. I'll let you guys decide, because the stories that are coming out right now, first-person accounts over a round of firings, stories are stunning, truly stunning. We
Trying to get to the
also
mo.
now have a never-before-seen text message, which CHARLIEKIRK received, this time from a loving, very loving Christian Zionist donor. And I want to be clear, it reads to me like a threat. Again, I will let you guys decide. Let's jump right back in. Welcome back to Candace.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Over 40.
Charlie was threatened. He was threatened a lot, I would say, threatened financially. And I want to be clear, it wasn't just by Jewish donors, but also by
Y'all hit the
Christian
like button.
Zionist donors. What is Christian Zionism? We're all wondering. We're having that conversation now as a society. Like, what does this actually mean? Doesn't feel too Christian. It kind of feels like here is how Christians better behave and act. And we're going to try to package it in a Bible verse, you know? That's how it's starting to feel to me, and I think a lot of people, well, this is not going to help. Let's just back up. In July, we know that's when things went sideways for CHARLIEKIRK, right? He stepped out of line because he hosted Tucker Carlson at their SAS event in July. And I want to be clear here, if we're just asking ourselves the question, what exactly did Tucker do or say that was so controversial? Nothing at all. He asked reasonable questions that were on everybody's mind. Questions about Jeffrey Epstein. That's pretty fair to open that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
He asked about why it seems he's somehow protected, where his money came from. He asked about Israeli blackmail operations.
Mm-hmm.
Tucker, for being clear here, what Tucker did was he was honest. Take a listen.
How does a guy go from being a math teacher at the Dalton School in the late 70s with no college degree to having multiple airplanes, a private island, and the largest residential house in Manhattan? Where did all the money come from? And no one has ever gotten to the bottom of that because no one has ever tried. And moreover, it's extremely obvious to anyone who watches that this guy had direct connections to a foreign government. Now, no one's allowed to say that that foreign government is Israel because we have been somehow cowed into thinking that that's naughty.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing wrong with saying that. There is nothing hateful about saying that. There's nothing anti-Semitic about saying that. There's nothing even anti-Israel about saying that. I've spent my entire life pretty much in Washington, where I knew and loved a number of people, including one very close person who worked at CIA. That has never prohibited me from saying, I think the CIA has done some horrible things. Murdered a bunch of people, participated in the murder of a sitting U.S. president. It's got a whole trail of crimes. That doesn't make me a disloyal American. It doesn't make me anti-American in any sense. I was born here. My family's been here for hundreds of years. I love this country. That's why I live here. So criticizing the behavior of a government agency does not make you a hater. It makes you a free person. It makes you a citizen. You're allowed to do that because you're not a slave. You're a citizen.
Right.
And you have a right to expect that your government will not act against your interests, and you have a right to demand that foreign governments not be allowed to act against your interests. That's not creepy. It shouldn't be forbidden. And yet all of us have trained ourselves to believe that you can't say that somehow, that that's like too naughty and forbidden. And the effect of making that off limits has been to create a lot of resentment, and I'll say it, hate online. Where people feel like they can't just say, like, what the hell is this? You have the former Israeli prime minister living in your house. You have had all this contact with the foreign government. Were you working on behalf of Mossad? Were you running a blackmail operation on behalf of the foreign government?
Oh, Tucker, but it is forbidden. You look out in the audience, they're cheering, they agree with you because it makes sense. But Tucker, to some people in this society, if we're being honest, they do view us as slaves. They've given us the illusion of freedom. They gave Charlie the illusion of freedom. Yeah, Charlie, go out
Until
there.
he said no.
Fight for free markets and capitalism. This is your company. This is your organization. You built this. You were young. You didn't get into West Point, and you built this because you care about free markets and capitalism. And of course, free speech. And then when Charlie started prodding the narrative about Israel, suddenly he realized
it's a little too free.
He wasn't a free man at all. And he wasn't even free to invite who he wanted to invite to speak on his stage.
Wow.
You know, I showed you guys that text thread. I could show you more, where Charlie was saying that he's thinking that he wants to invite Candace. Well, also, I can confirm to you today.
Y'all double tap the face of y'all screen on your phone device. And if, or you can hit those 3 dots at the top right corner. I've been in here like an hour and 11 minutes, so go ahead, get the likes up. Y'all know once I get to Candace, I don't like doing all of that stopping. Baron was about Candace, but it really wasn't about her. It was about ERIKAKIRK. Oh, wow. You better watch his mouth. Having to save somebody outside of a London window. You couldn't go out there and help the lady. You have to call 911. Baron, you what, 7 feet tall, and you couldn't go out there and stop. Yeah, I heard about his wife is pregnant. He laid that pipe. Ha! She was finna go. And all Erica real dirt started coming out. And he was like, oh, hell no. She'll pass around. Double tap the face on your phone device. Tap it 2 times. Say, thank you. Tap, tap. And hit those 3 dots at the top. Double tap the face on the phone. When I switch over and go members only, don't say nothing.
That on September 9th, amongst a smaller pool of TPUSA employees, Charlie sent a text saying, the day before he died, that he wanted to invite me to MEMPHIS. Yeah, no, that wasn't allowed to happen because this Tucker speech wasn't allowed to happen. That speech was disobedient to Israel's aims. I'm going to now read you an unhinged text message that Charlie received, this time from a female Christian donor, Zionist, of course. And as I read this, I want you to keep in mind that this information, once again, is being shared to you from me, not from Charlie's closest friends over at Turning Point USA, who purport to care about what happened to him, purport to want the truth to get out, except not when it comes to the pressure that Charlie was under in the months leading up to his
Y'all know how to hit the like button. Thumbs
people,
up.
In fact, wouldn't dare.
Double tap. Hit the 3 dots.
Tons to say about CANDACEOWENS. They're not going to send any legal letters over to
Thank you, Naturally Knowledge.
That is pro-Israel. Yeah, it seems that that's the way, right? Not for a single second do they want to betray the Israel narrative. Israel as a friend and ally, not just the United States, but of course to CHARLIEKIRK until the very end. Now, I'm letting you know that I have copy and pasted this message and sent it to my team and sent it back because I want to make sure that where and who this message came from is not obvious. But this is a real message. Andrew Kovac can confirm it's real. ERIKAKIRK can confirm it's real.
Oh, Lord.
40 years.
That's a long time. 54 patterns.
I know they hate the.
That Charlie Kirk received this. Let's read this, okay? All of the people that trusted you, Jews and Christians, including me, why would you platform anti-Semites like Candace and Tucker? There are many evangelical Christian Zionists who would never give these people the opportunity to view their hatred. I'm one of them. You say people are accusing you of being an anti-Semite because you disagree with the Israeli government. Well, what is it exactly that you disagree with? You threatened Jews and Christians with your 30 million followers. Are you kidding? Be very careful, Charlie. You are in violation of the 9th commandment by bearing false witness against your brother Judah. When was the last time you read your Bible, Charlie?
Oh, wow.
I'm coming to you as a believer. Genesis 12:3. Obadiah and many more prophets warned that those who curse Israel will be cursed. Your TPUSA Tampa event was a disaster. Michelle Bachmann was booed, and about 10% walked out on her when she talked about standing with Israel. You brag about how you convinced all these young voters to vote for Trump, but you can't convince them to stand with our Jewish brethren. This is not a joke, Charlie. I'm coming to you as a sister in faith. You have accomplished so much by the hand of the Almighty, but He is going to lift His hand from you. Don't fall for Tucker, Candace, and the rest. The Jews are under attack. God warns us in the last days that He
I hate when people
will wipe out the descendants of
try to
Edom because
manipulate you
they
with
stood
scripture.
by while their brothers, Jacob, Israel, was held in captivity and did nothing. Don't be counted among the Edomites. It will be to your peril, as well as the unfinished work
They got him in jail, y'all.
to do through
They got him in a dungeon somewhere.
Oh, but it's in a Bible verse, so he should be like chill with that. No, he wasn't chill with that. He
in a dungeon somewhere,
young
y'all.
voters to vote for Trump. Your TPUSA Tampa event was a disaster. Michelle Bachmann was booed, and about 10% walked out on her when she talked about standing with Israel. You brag about how you convinced all these young voters to vote for Trump, but you can't convince them to stand with our Jewish brethren. This is not a joke, Charlie. I'm coming to you as a sister in faith. You have accomplished so much
Spiritual manipulation.
by the hand of the Almighty, but He is going to lift His hand from you. Don't fall for Tucker, Candace, and the rest. The Jews are under attack. God warns us in the last days that He will wipe out the descendants of Edom because they stood by while their brothers, Jacob, Israel, was held in captivity and did nothing. Don't be counted among the Edomites. It will be to your peril, as well as
she knows that
unfinished
Israel
work
is a
God
person.
is going to do through you.
She knows that Israel is a person.
Oh, but it's in a Bible verse, so he should be like chill with that. No, he wasn't chill with that. He did feel threatened by that. That feels like you're pretending to be a Christian,
she know
but you have
Israel is
specific
a
marching
person.
orders, and you
Then
don't
what's
think
his
there's a single
tribe?
reason why Charlie could reasonably critique what Israel is doing after what's been done in Gaza. They've effectively have turned Gaza into a parking lot.
Yeah, that means that Israel is the person. It's not 1948 built, right?
Tucker's totally reasonable speech, speaking about Jeffrey Epstein. Hey, he harmed children.
And that means it's
And
not
he's being protected
1948
because he
built,
did that
right?
on behalf of Israel. He did that for Israel.
It's not
Blackmail
Rothschild.
operation for Israel. Everybody knows that, including Gen Z. And you're telling Charlie it's his job to convince Gen Z, like he's a psychological
There's
operation.
one thing when you don't
that's
know,
okay.
and it's a whole nother when you
In the
do. So
furniture business, things
she
go
knows.
fast. ZipRecruiter finds the best candidates for all our jobs, so we can find the best people.
Bible says, woe unto men who knows. So she knows. There's no
That what
misunderstanding.
Jeffrey Epstein did is fine? Because he has to stand with Judah. He has to look at what happened. And he's got to flip to Genesis and understand that even when they are behaving murderously, even when they are harming
How
children,
about he not talking about
he better figure out how to support them and how to lie to people about how
the
he feels about what they're
nation of
doing.
Israel?
That's really something really something, again, that you are hearing this from me, it is
What you mean?
becoming
I think
increasingly
so.
difficult to imagine how Turning
What you mean?
Point
You
is
think
not
so, Fee? What you
naming
talking
and
about?
shaming
I
these
missed it.
people. I give them an opportunity here. Why don't you come out and say who sent Charlie that message?
What you natural knowledge? What you mean? Do I think so? Ooh, I wasn't paying attention. When did you write that? Using God as a personal weapon. Absolutely.
You won't.
That's not
You
her,
won't. Of course
Auntie
you won't.
Fee. She's reading an email. I know. I'm saying that person who wrote the
You're
email,
lining up police
who is manipulating with
and
scripture.
firing them for literally no reason. We are
Yeah, I know she's reading what a Zionist, a Christian, a Zionist is saying, but Bible says, "Woe unto man who knows." So it's one thing to not know the Bible or the Word, and it is also another when you do know. So when she said she named the brothers, and so that's when I said, so she knows that Israel is a person and not a nation, not land. Because remember, at first they used to try to act like it's two brothers fighting over land, and that's what Israel was. So like, and a lot of Christians thought, went along with that, not realizing that they had, manipulated the Bible. So that's why I said, so she knows that Israel is not land. It's a man right here. She mentions the brothers.
talked about standing with Israel. You brag about how you convinced all these young voters to vote for Trump, but you can't convince them to stand with our Jewish brethren. This is not a joke, Charlie. I'm coming to you as a sister in faith. You have accomplished so much by the hand of the Almighty, but He is going to lift His hand from you. Don't fall for Tucker, Candace, and the rest. The Jews are under attack. God warns us in the last days that He will wipe out the descendants of Edom because they stood by while their brothers, Jacob, Israel, was held in captivity and did nothing.
So she knows that Israel is a man. That was in the Bible days. So it can't be Israel, the nation, the land. So she knows that. And so if she knows that Israel is Jacob, then she knows that Jacob have a tribe. So who is the brethren that she's talking about? Because if she's talking about Jacob, Israel, what's her tribe? Right? Am I tripping? So woe unto man who knows. Even with her manipulation, she says Jacob, Israel. So she knows that Jacob is Israel and not just a nation of land. The land was named. They stole the land and named the land, the town, Israel. It was stolen. So what is she talking about? Yeah, so she is an imposter. That's cool with the stealing of the land. And that's manipulation. But as she wrote that, it's almost, I need to know who this is, because it's almost as if she knows that he gonna be taken and put in a dungeon somewhere for standing with the traitors, who is exposing that we not real. That's what I'm getting. I may be wrong, but that's what I'm getting.
Don't be counted among the Edomites. It will be to your peril, as well as the unfinished work God was going to do through you.
They had plans for him, baby.
Oh, but it's in a Bible verse, so he should be chill with that. No, he wasn't chill with that. He did feel threatened by that. that feels like you're pretending to be a Christian, but you have specific marching orders, and you don't think there's a single reason why Charlie could reasonably critique what Israel is doing after what's been done in Gaza. They've effectively have turned Gaza into a parking lot, and this is how you come at him over Tucker's speech? Tucker's totally reasonable
And it's
speech speaking
stolen
about
land
Jeffrey
now.
Epstein. Hey, he harmed children. And he's being protected because he did that on behalf of Israel. He did that for Israel. Blackmail operation for Israel. Everybody knows that, including Gen Z. And you're telling Charlie it's his job to convince Gen Z, like he's a psychological operation, that that's okay?
Yeah, because
that what Jeffrey Epstein did is fine?
No, but he, like she said, you are able to manipulate the minds of those young people, and you can't convince these people. See how that manipulation goes? Okay, so he did a great job. He's good at, he's really good at being a deceiver, persuading people. And I understand that respectfully, because I remember somewhere in my spiritual journey, I remember realizing that, not like Charlie, I'm not trying to say I was like Charlie, but the gift of persuasion. I remember realizing that, you're good at persuading people. And I also remember when there was that conviction on me as to, with this gift of being able to, persuade people, will you persuade them for right or for wrong? I remember this. I kind of remember having this type of talk with God or teaching. Will you persuade? Because with that, you can talk people into or convince them, or they can see you and, want to be like you or whatever. However they are persuaded. How will you handle that? What would you do with it? Will you take advantage of it in the right way, or will you take advantage of it in the wrong way? And I remember at that point knowing that the gift was a test. Oh my God, I know I'm not finna get it. Oh my God, I know I'm not. Hold up. Because I haven't thought about it in a while, but I remember that. And I think that it was at a point in time in my life when it became important to me spiritually to pass tests. Oh my God. And it's just little things like that, as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to the renewing of the mind and, asking God to stir up the right spirit within you, seeing yourself a wretch undone, seeing some ways within you that, you want God to make you a better you. So I remember that. And to recognize that and to choose to not desire to, because that's saying, in a nutshell, it's saying, will you manipulate? Will you be a deceiver? Because you have this gift? Or will you find the love of God to help people find their way to God? Because every gift, I don't care what your gift is, your gift It's not for you just to have a gift. The gift is given to you for you to spread the good news of Christ, to draw people unto God. And sometimes we lose sight of that. We think that we are special because of gifts. So, knowing where I came from and the hustle and the bustle that I was kind of raised with, I know that the devil wanted me to use it in his favor instead of God's. And it was at that time that I strived. I made a conscious decision to use the gift in a loving way, a better way than what I was used to engage with before. So that was just a reminder about the gifts. And they knew that Charlie had that gift. And as long as he was using that gift and making money, they felt like he would be satisfied and would continue to use the gift that God gave him to move their agenda along if they was paying him well. Does that make sense? So when they saw that he was deciding, oh no, I don't want to use the gift like that anymore. You can see the errors of your ways. And I think that's what happened. Charlie began to see the errors of his ways with his gift, that he chose to make money off of it and try to manipulate God. Because, see, I think that when you play with God like that, with his people, his sheep, he says, don't let my sheep go astray. To give you a gift, you're supposed to draw them to Christ, not to let them go astray, right? I'm sorry I'm going off on this tangent, but when I thought about and let that process, I could hear the manipulation of the gift. So now they're saying you can trick all the kids, the college kids, but you can't trick them. And sometimes I think with Charlie, if I can be honest, and I don't know him, I never listened to him before, but it's just the way he would say that he was a devout believer in Jesus Christ. I mean, he was kind of solid with that. And it was very convincing. But then he had these talking points that he was paid to just find a way to incorporate these talking points and add it to your belief. See, this is why I never liked that manipulation of Christian Zionists. Never liked it. Because it played it too close for me. It just played that too close. So once I took the time to continue to try to listen to him, I could hear the devout Christian, I'm a Christian, I'm a da-da-da-da. But then he would come in these talking points that they already had in place, to line it up. Oh, yeah. So they knew that they was going to take away DEI. They knew that they was about to make a divide and grab the immigrants. They knew all of that. So it was as if they gave him a list of things that they was going to push, incorporate this in your spiritual walk, and just find a flow. So sometimes with this, I don't know what to call it, it's as if they think it almost has a feel and a texture like they was thinking one thing and it took on a whole new life. Yeah, I said that, but that was for politics. That wasn't, no. No, no, no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You know, it was with the political party, so I was just saying, I mean, you know, these are just talking points that it's just like it's my, so now we're about to make excuses for what we're saying and what we're doing. This is how I really kind of feel about Charlie. Did you really believe that there should be no immigrants? Do y'all understand what I'm saying? How can you say that and say that you are a true believer in Christ when Christ talked about foreigners and widows? If he wasn't performing at his job and he realized that his job that he tried to add into his real belief took feet and it grew. And that's just kind of how I felt. So when I hear that letter and her points, her strong points, to now convince a person that has a gift of persuasion. So this lady feels like she can persuade him to get back on track and convince whomever it is that she wants to convince him to get back on his convincing job.
Against your brother Judah. When was the last time you read your Bible, Charlie?
And let me say this with because somebody may say, "Oh, there's nothing wrong with that." Let me tell you.
Your TurboTax expert.
Now you're saying, when was the last time you picked up your Bible and all that manipulation?
Israel.
This, if you was raised in a Pentecostal church, you will be able to hear some of, you know, that condemnation. Bible says Christ came to save the world, not condemn it. So when I start hearing condemnation, to me as a Christian, I'm hearing you think your good deeds are the reason why you're saved. So you're saying that you are holy because you do good. So you're saying you're holy because you're without sin. And see, that's going to pose another problem for me. And I don't know why I'm going here, but that's what I'm hearing in this letter. And it has a texture of pure manipulation. And it is just so important to me now not to compromise your spirituality for money. And did I just make up a word? Did I make up a word? I understand what you're talking about. Okay.
CHARLIEKIRK until the very end. Now I'm letting you know that I have copied and pasted this message and sent it to my team and sent it back because I want to make sure that where and who this message came from is not obvious. But this is a real message. Do not manipulate me spiritually. Andrew Kovac can confirm it's real. ERIKAKIRK can confirm it's real. That CHARLIEKIRK received this. Let's read this, okay? All of the people that trusted you, Jews and Christians, including me, why would you platform anti-Semites like Candace and Tucker? There are many evangelical Christian Zionists who would never give these people the opportunity to spew their hatred. I'm one of them. You say people are accusing you of being an anti-Semite because you disagree with the Israeli government. Well, what is it exactly that you disagree with? You threatened Jews and Christians with your 30 million followers. Are you kidding? Be very careful, Charlie. You are in violation of the 9th commandment by bearing false witness against your brother Judah. When was the last time you read your Bible, Charlie?
Yeah, that's condemnation. Let's go.
I'm coming to you as a believer. Genesis 12:3. Obadiah and many more prophets warn that those who curse Israel will be cursed. Your TPUSA Tampa event was a disaster.
Now, y'all know that they added that in the Bible when they started rewriting the Bible.
On her when she talked about standing with Israel. You brag about how you convinced all these young voters to vote for Trump, but you can't convince them to stand with our Jewish brethren. This is not a joke, Charlie. I'm coming to you as a sister in faith. You have accomplished so much by the
manipulate
hand of
them.
the Almighty, but
manipulate them, make them believe it.
Hand from you. Don't fall for Tucker, Candace, and the rest. The Jews are under attack. God warns us in the last days that he will wipe out the descendants of Edom because they stood by while their brothers, Jacob, Israel, was held in captivity and did nothing. Don't be counted among.
That's why I say he in the dungeon somewhere. He locked up somewhere. He's in Valhalla. He's in Valhalla.
The Edomites. It will be to your peril, as well as the unfinished work God was going to do.
Well, now he out. Now he's a security guard.
Through you. Oh, but it's in a Bible verse, so he should be like chill with that. No, he wasn't chill with that. He did feel threatened by that. That feels like you're pretending to be a Christian, but you have specific marching orders, and you don't think there's a single reason why Charlie could reasonably critique what Israel is doing after what's been done in Gaza. They've effectively have turned Gaza into a parking lot, and this is how you come at him over Tucker's speech? Tucker's totally reasonable speech, speaking about Jeffrey Epstein. Hey, he harmed children. And he is being protected because he did that on behalf of Israel. He did that for Israel. Blackmail operation for Israel. Everybody knows that, including Gen Z. And you're telling Charlie it's his job to convince Gen Z, like he's a psychological operation, that that's okay? That what Jeffrey Epstein did is fine? Because he has to stand with Judah. He has to look at what happened. And he's got to flip to Genesis and understand that even when they are behaving murderously, even when they are harming children, he better figure out how to support them and how to lie to people about how he feels about what they're doing. That's really something.
That's the devil.
Really something, again, that you are hearing this from me. It is becoming increasingly difficult to imagine how Turning Point is not naming and shaming these people. I give them an opportunity here. Why don't you come out and say who sent Charlie that message? You won't. You won't. Of course you won't. You're lining up poison and firing them for literally no reason. We have proof of that later.
Erica, I know Erica didn't send that to him.
Proof and that video, I want to let you guys know that we received a very interesting tip, which unfortunately means that our established column that we built on our Excel sheet.
I know that wasn't Erica who sent that.
I know everywhere that we investigate.
Is that what she was trying to say?
This theme
Hiring and firing
regarding adult.
Is she trying to say that was Erica? Oh, I know you lying.
Israel. Blackmail operation for Israel. Everybody knows that, including Gen Z. And you're telling Charlie it's his job to convince Gen Z, like he's a psychological operation, that that's okay? That what Jeffrey Epstein did is fine?
Yeah, that's their culture.
Judah, he has to look at what happened.
Y'all hit the like button, please.
Genesis and understand that even when they are behaving murderously, even when they are harming children, he better figure out.
That's the Zionist cult. That's what they do. So yes, even when they do those things, yes, because that's what we do. That's what we do. Absolutely. With them doing those things, yes. You are out of line. They are not. That's our praise and worship. What are you talking about? That sacrifice and that blood? Don't y'all do y'all grape juice every once a month, the first Sunday, and in remembrance of him? I mean, I'm sorry that y'all using grape jelly, Welch's, but we use blood for real. Hey, what's the law? Y'all do know that's what they saying, right? I mean, that may be too heavy for you, but that's what they saying because we know they believe in sacrificing. And they drink the blood. They drink it like it's wine. Yeah, oh, it's warm. I like mine warm. I went down to the dungeon in the cellar, and I'm gonna get passed over. Yeah, they drink real blood. Don't be mad at me because y'all drink Welch's. Yeah, so he is out of line. So what you talking about going on in Gaza? That's what we do. How dare you? Now, I don't know when you realize that, yeah, this is a culture. I mean, I know that it started out this way, but we have, it's bait and switch, and we have shifted gears. We are changing the dynamic of it, and this is the Zionist part of the Christian. So, X out the Christian now. You've been here long enough to know this is not no play. And we need for you to drink some blood. We need you to you need to bring us a sacrifice, or you will be the sacrifice. Now you choose your poison. You choose your wine. Do you want the real blood, or do you want to drink the grape juice in remembrance? Yeah, no, we want the blood. That's what happens when you play with the devil. They throw the sheep clothing off, and then it gets real up in there. Let's go. I mean, I know he's smart enough to have done the research on that Zionist. Yeah.
How to support them and how to lie to people about how he feels about what they're doing. That's really something. Really something, again, that you are hearing this from me. It is becoming increasingly difficult to imagine how Turning Point is not naming and shaming these people. I give them an opportunity here.
Juice and cracker.
That message.
Do this and remember to me.
You won't. Of course you won't. You're lining up poison and firing them for literally no reason. We have proof of that later. Before we get to that proof and that video, I want to let you guys know that we received a very interesting tip, which unfortunately means that our established column that we built on our Excel sheet about, I don't know, everywhere that we investigate, there seems to be this theme regarding adults that have been accused, credibly, or people that have gone to prison for and actually have been tried and found guilty of sexual contact with minors. Right? That list we have built out for you. Well, this time it grows, and it is in relation to, she was not her directly, Lori Francevy, Erica's mom. Lori Francevy and Larry Ginta. That Larry, Lawrence Buinta, is Erica's stepfather. And they have a repeat business partner, a repeat business couple, Shelley and Lyle Reams, meaning they form businesses with these people. Now, Lyle Reams ostensibly is Native American, a part of the, and excuse me if I'm saying this wrong, Tohono O'odham Nation. Back in 1998, Lyle Ream, sexual contact with minors, right? That list we have built out for you. Well, this time it grows, and it is in relation to, she was not her directly, Lori Francevy, Erica's mom. Lori Francevy and Larry Ginta. That Larry, Lawrence Buinta, is Erica's stepfather. And they have a repeat business partner, a repeat business couple, Shelley and Lyle Reams, meaning they form businesses with these people. Now, Lyle Reams ostensibly is Native American, a part of the, and excuse me if I'm saying this wrong, Tohono O'odham Nation.
Y'all hit the like button? Double tap. Only one person hit the like button. Double tap the face of your screen. Hit the three dots at the top right. Get the likes up. What is your favorite communion song? You know what your favorite communion song is?
Back in 1998, Lyle Reams was tried and indicted. He was indicted.
In the comment section, put your favorite communion song. What's your favorite communion song? I can tell you mine right off the bat. The one that make draw tears to me, make me wanna, well, it'll draw tears to me. What is yours? Put it in the comment section.
For sexual conduct with a minor under the age of 15. He was about 41 at the time, and we can show you this. You can look at this case. You can scroll through to understand what happened. The case made its way through the court system for a year and a half, during which time the young victim even gave a victim impact statement before the case was dismissed without prejudice in 1999. Without prejudice means that the victim has a right to bring about the charges again, and without prejudice. Anyways, this background, I'm telling this about Lyle because it was apparently not a bar to entry for Lori and Larry to pursue a business with Lyle, because fast forward to 2017, and together they filed to open a business.
Ladies, I found our new holy grail. This is the Sheer Strength Lip Tint by Thrive Cosmetics.
Thank you, Naturally Narlins. Thank you for the thumbs up.
Located on a Native American reservation.
Oh, Lord.
In a town called Sacaton, Arizona. Maybe it's Sacaton.
They go
Sacaton,
a farm.
For reference, has a population today of just 3,254 people. 40% of those people are children. 95% are, Native American. So what exactly could represent, this is my question, a legitimate business interest amongst the Native American population on a Native American reservation? Remember, this is at a time when Lori is doing defense work for the Department of Justice. That's what she moved to Arizona for. What's their interest here?
Trafficking.
According to the formation docs, the business that they filed is called Desert Spirit Tech, LLC. Okay? Her name here is now Lauren, Lorin, rather than Lori, which is other business documents. And in looking through these docs, the place of business listed.
This is why they knew that she was about to come and hit them with
26 Rose and Thoby.
Why they said stop.
Well, that address does not appear to exist. Rose and Thoby is an intersection. If we can pull this up live so you can see what we're seeing. If we're wrong, we're happy to correct this. But Rose is its own street. Thoby is its own street. The intersection, which we're going to zoom in on here, is let's get in close there, because there's just maybe one building that you could maybe say was on Rose and Thoby. Yeah, okay. We don't have a 26 Rose and Thoby. That doesn't exist.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. Maybe it's that building. That's the only thing that looks like a building to me. Again, I don't know what that building's doing. There's another business on the same road that is owned by Mr. Lyle Reams and his wife Shelley, which is called Generation 7 Farms. In theory, it should be right next door to Lori and Larry's Spirit Tech, as its address is 21 Rose and Thoby. Sadly, alas, we cannot find that one on a map either. Maybe you guys will have better luck. But what we can discern from the filing of Desert Tech is that Lauren Fransky is listed as a 20% stakeholder in the business. Larry Guinta, her husband, is also listed as a stakeholder and as the business's registered agent. But what is not immediately discernible, however, is what exactly this Spirit Tech does. Fortunately,
she's giving reality check. Says that
is that Candace?
Hot, her intuition's fire. They cannot mess with.
That look like Candace.
She see
That is Candace. That is Candace's on her. Look at Candace. She. Let's go, Candace. Breaking the rules. Candace, let's go. Oh, how cute. Let's go.
IA in media, breaking all the rules. Her timeline solves the case when they try and gaslight you. She's Candace, 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 Candace Owens tells the truth. Candace Owens tells the truth. Candace
I love it.
Candace Owens tells the truth. Spills the tea all over you.
I love it.
Candace Owens tells the truth.
Go, Max. Oh, I love it.
Lower, the queen has got receipts. Her super sleuths are loyal. We wanna hear the deeds. She's not afraid to face the leaders telling lies to bring down Holly Weird and demons in
Holly Weird.
She knows it's fake and gay. It's woke, it's pedo crime. Sometimes we don't know, no, but we just know she's right.
I love it. We know. Let's go.
Candace Owens tells the truth. Spills the tea all over you. Candace Owens tells the truth. Life's tough. Get a helmet. Candace Owens tells the truth. Candace Owens tells the truth. Candace Owens tells the truth. Spills the tea all over you. Bringing logic back. She's serving evidence before the facts. Even if you're LGBT, white or black, she'll take down all the weirdo psychopaths. Christ is king.
Christ is king. I love it.
Candace Owens tells the truth. Candace Owens tells the truth. Spills the tea all over you. Candace Owens tells the truth. Candace Owens tells the truth. Candace Owens tells the truth. Candace Owens tells the truth.
I love it.
At Raising Cane's, we hand batter every chicken finger.
I love it.
Mix every cane sauce. Butter every
Oh.
Texas.
Oh.
It is required by law.
Oh. She making fun of Erica. Yeah, that's why I said Lady Love. Oh. Oh, you don't know, but we know now. Yeah, I love it. I love it. That's what's up. Let's go.
And I think every
Okay, come on.
country, I mean, in every state, maybe not all of them, that when you form an LLC, you have to then publicize that you are doing so in a local newspaper and provide a general description of your intended business operations. So I thought, great, that's an angle. Oddly, however, Larry, who, by the way, is an agent, remember, he's the registered agent on the business, Larry and Lori and the other two decided that for this business, they would issue the public notice in the Arizona Chinese News, okay? Here is proof, which they filed with the state, of their public notice. They got it notarized by Arizona Chinese American publication saying, hey, we did it. We ticked off that box by filing about what our business was going to be. It's done. Cool. This is in December 2017. You can see The state received it on December 6th. They signed this on December 1st. Okay. Now, the Arizona Chinese newspaper, by the way, that's recognized. You can do that. It's not illegal. It's recognized by the state as an optional publication to meet the requirement. But as far as publications go, it's a bit obscure. It's not exactly accessible to non-Mandarin speakers. This is the website, so good luck trying to source a 2017 LLC public notice. Seriously, good luck. If someone finds it and you will maybe receive this publication, which goes out once a week, please email me at moretips@CandaceOwens.com, because I would like to know what this tech, Easy Tech, Desert Tech, Euro Tech, all these tech companies
It's a fake company,
do
just like
exactly.
drones.
For reference, per their website, the Chinese news agency was founded in Phoenix, Arizona in April of 1990. Its mission is to create a cultural space for overseas Chinese and to serve the Chinese community. I find this to be all very shady. Done to Native Americans, we've got Chinese. I don't know what this business does. This seems to be a recurring theme. Shouldn't be, especially if our government is involved. It should be very clear to figure out what everybody does, and maybe you're a better researcher than me. And it's especially shady given the fact that it looks like, and I'm going to prod that narrative further, that also back when Lori Francie formed Eurotech, there was another shady character involved back in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Oh, wow. That's my song. Y'all hit the like button. Double tap. Y'all, there go my song, y'all. The blood that Jesus shed for me way back on Calvary. The blood that gives me strength. Y'all know that one? What was yours? I saw it. Was the blood that made a difference at Calvary. I don't know if I know that one, Cynthia. That's the one that draws tears to my eyes during communion. I meditate on it. I try to imagine the blood that gives me strength from day to day. It will never lose its power. It reaches to the highest mountain. Oh, and it flows to the lowest valley. Oh, the blood that gives me strength. See, here it's about to come. From day to day, it will never lose its powers. I can't never get through it, y'all, without it taking me there. Just to imagine, if you close your eyes and just think about the blood. No matter what you're going through, the blood can go there with you. And it has you. It carries you. So now I'll take my grape juice and my crackers. Yeah, that's what I'm going to take with me. How about that?
This seems to be a common theme, and we need to look into it further. And I promise you that I am now going to, because I don't like when people send legal letters to my house because I'm telling the truth. I just don't like it. Anyway, we'll be right back after a brief break, and I'll tell you about
I can't never get through it, y'all.
Round of firings happening at the company. All right, you guys, there's very clearly a war on truth right now. Candace, or download the app for free. Off-label benefits of fighting a wide variety of cancers. And this makes sense. The connection between tumor growth and parasites has been known for years.
Oh yeah, y'all know I'm big on the parasites.
Silent, they have admitted that millions of Americans suffer from parasitic infections that often go undetected.
Okay, let me let y'all listen.
Parasitic medications. Big medical hack of 2025 was
I absolutely believe in the parasites. So
Several peer-reviewed studies identifying the direct connections between anti-parasitic medications and their off-label benefits of fighting a wide variety of cancers. And this makes sense. The connection between tumor growth and parasites has been known for years. While the CDC remains silent,
but the
they have
doctors
admitted
don't
that
want to
millions of
tell you.
Americans suffer from parasitic infections that often go undetected or undiagnosed. This is why Dr. Peter McCullough, Chief Scientific Officer at the Wellness Company and the world's most published cardiologist, says that these studies make a clear case to do at least one medical-grade parasite cleanse annually. The Wellness Company's compounded ivermectin and mebendazole is a doctor-prescribed gold standard combination.
Yeah, I don't
dose
use
that is
that one, but I
designed to help
definitely
the body
use one.
eliminate parasites.
I'm back
Each
on
bottle
it.
contains 90 capsules, enough to complete 4 21-day cleanses. The Wellness Company makes the process fully digital, so it's very easy. Just fill out a quick intake form, a doctor will review it, and your medical-grade parasite cleanse will arrive in a week. So if you are looking to reset your health, head to twc.health/Candace and use code Candace at checkout to save $90 off. Plus,
and here go my I do have a cleanse that I take, and you know I purchased those. My all over oregano. And then they have some gel capsules now with the black walnut and the all over oregano, and I think clove. So yeah, those parasites, the doctors won't tell you. A lot of the cancers are parasites. A lot of our illnesses is parasites. I've been told by a doctor that they are forbidden to tell you that it's parasites. Tumors are parasites. That's why they said that as long as you don't bust it or cut it, it can go down if you use the right herbs for it. But as soon as they go in there and cut it out, or the biopsy, it spreads.
free shipping.
That's what they say.
Open to USA residents only. That's twc.health/Candace. Use code.
Here we go again.
Yeah, please hit the like button. Get the likes up.
Everyone wants to know. So here it is.
Oh, absolutely. Hurry up. They moving slow.
Starting at $29.90 in stores and at Maurice's.com.
September 25th, 2018. He wrote, "We do have a team. We can only do as much as police on campus will allow, and also working with police or private security in a given venue. We run everything like a military op. All of our people are from that background."
I believe that.
Oh. I told the truth. Okay, great. Just wanted to make sure. Just wanted to, or maybe get a lawyer to send Tyler Boyer a letter. Anyway, guys, gotta get into this firing thing. I have a lot now, and I gotta organize it over the weekend and things to give to you guys, and it's good because we're about to have a snowstorm and I can kind of plug in. So I still don't understand what caused it. I can't get to the root of what happened, but what I can tell you is that one person got brought into an office by Andrew Colbert and was told that the CMO got into an Uber car and asked, just striking up some conversation with the Uber driver. I was like, "What do you think about Turning Point USA and the CHARLIEKIRK thing?" And he starts saying, "Oh, well, I actually have a daughter who knows somebody that works Turning Point USA, and maybe she doesn't like the stuff that's going on at the company." An Uber driver was making small chat with an executive at Turning Point USA and said his daughter knew someone, and that person had potentially said something that he didn't really love. She didn't really love Erika at the helm. Anyways, Andrew Colbert hauls this person into the office and starts asking about this Uber conversation, and of course the employee was like, "I literally have no idea what you're talking about," and says that it was completely untrue, almost like they had fictionalized it entirely for some other reason, for some other unknown reason. Anyway, another person who had worked there gets hauled into the office by general counsel, thinks that they are being brought in because they're going to get a raise or a
Oh,
bonus because
wow.
apparently, which makes perfect sense, things have been insane, obviously.
And they've been busting
They
their
are
butt.
all really have been working nonstop. Think about the size and scale of the event that they put on at Charlie's Memorial Service. They had AmFest. They had a huge donor thing at Mar-a-Lago. So everyone's been killing themselves, and no one's getting raises and bonuses. And yet, according to this person, Turning Point USA has brought in $250 million since Charlie's assassination. Good luck proving that I hurt your pockets. Like, what? I think he did just fine this year, actually. I don't think my podcast did too much there. 250 mil. I can't even wrap my head around this. LOL to the PR talking points that everyone's doing this for money. I can't. That is money that I cannot even
speak
comprehend
opposite.
outside of random articles
What they
written
put on
in the
others is
Hindustan
what's
Times
really
where people
going on
think
with
that my
them.
net worth is $200 million and I have 72 houses. Yeah, that's what's happening at Turning Point USA. Anyway, another person, that person regarding the Uber thing, then said, if you want to know my actual opinion, to Andrew Colbeck, if you want to know my actual opinion about Erica, you can just ask me. And he proceeds to go, okay, and then she kind of then illustrated that a lot of people just feel like outwardly the company is presenting like they're one big family. We're one big family. We're one big family. But then actually a lot of the employees feel that that's just a public presentation, that Erica doesn't even know their names, that only a handful of people even have access to her. And so it doesn't feel like the same company. I think that's a reasonable thing. Anyways, fired, goodbye. Within the same day, maybe the next day, I actually am not completely sure, another person gets halted, thinks that she's getting a raise, and actually they just tell her that she's fired. It's like thinking I crushed it at AmFest, I am definitely about to get a raise, this company is flush with cash. Actually, you're fired. And so she asks the attorney, why am I being fired? And the attorney just says, we're going in a different direction.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get to have an explanation. Security's outside, leave. And so at this point, the employee hits record on their phone because they don't understand what's happening. And thankfully they did. So you can now listen to the, excuse. There's nothing really to listen to other than her not being able to get an answer, what she did wrong. And I'm making this very clear to you. I am not kidding. I promise you on everything. I had never in my life communicate. I mean, maybe I saw her in the event. I don't know. I shouldn't say never in my life. Maybe was backstage. I never spoke to this employee once, never anything at all. Period. Not one of my sources, nothing. So this can't be related to me. I don't think it's related to me. But let's take a listen anyways, because they're all convinced they're just paranoid and firing a bunch of people. Take a listen.
We are on the brink of catastrophe. The planet only has so.
Can I get y'all to double tap the like button? Hit the like button, please.
Because I don't like when people send legal letters to my house because I'm telling the truth. I just don't like it. So you can now listen.
Come on, y'all. I need for y'all to, if you're on your phone and you have not already, let's hit the like button. A double tap. I need for you to double tap the face of your phone if that's how you're listening. If not, hit the three dots at the top corner right end, please. Yeah, if you don't want to tap, you can go ahead and to the left, to the left. Ooh. To. Marshmallow. They can't figure out who's the mole, right? So management is paranoid. So now they doing kind of like, oh, you spoke against Charlie. Okay, you have to go. People lose their job. You got to leave the country. All that crazy stuff. You don't like Erica, you speaking against because somebody, I mean, and they still, oh, so that means that they got the right person this time. If they were able to record it, y'all. Come on, y'all, hurry up, get the likes up. The quicker we get the likes up, the quicker we can move forward. Because as soon as I start playing it, y'all going to come back in, and then I don't want to have to stop it again. I don't want to play that game with y'all tonight. I don't want to play that. And I don't want to switch over to members only. So come on and just double tap or hit the 3 buttons.
To the, I guess, non-excuse. There's nothing really to listen to other than her not being able to get an answer of what she did wrong. And I'm making this very clear to you. I am not kidding. I promise you.
For the ones that y'all just came in, can y'all hit the like button, please? See how they just dropped down and came right back up in here.
On everything. I had never in my life communicated. I mean, maybe I saw her in the event. I don't know. I shouldn't say never in my life. I maybe was backstage. I never spoke to this employee once, never anything at all. Period.
You didn't know who she was.
Not one of my sources, nothing. So this can't be related to me. I don't think it's related
not
to
one
me.
of her
But
sources.
let's take a listen anyways, because they're all convinced.
Well, if it's not one of your sources, how you get it? Oh, they pro you now.
They're just paranoid and firing a bunch of people. Take a listen.
I mean, Frank, this is kind of wild.
I understand where you're coming from.
I know, and I know best to be here, and
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not really content leaving for the day without further documentation, explanation, anything.
I understand, but it's time to go. We're just gonna say today's the last day, and that's what we're gonna operate now.
And there's nothing else y'all are going to offer me or plan to offer me.
Ah!
No, I'll send you an email about off-board instructions, because essentially it outlines reasons that you did. So there's no more, and I'm detailing the pay and sit out.
And you will receive your year-end bonus from your performance for the year, so that will be in that.
You gonna get what?
And there's nothing else y'all are going to offer me or plan to offer me. No, I'll send you an email about off-board instructions, because essentially it outlines reasons that you did. So there's no more, and I'm detailing the pay and sit out.
And you will receive your year-end bonus from your performance for the year, so that will be in that paycheck too.
Okay. So, I mean,
yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from.
No, and I know you're going to keep saying that I understand.
Yeah.
Like, I know that.
No, I know.
And I know there's probably no magic string of words that I could piece together to procure some type of answer, but
yeah.
I think on a surface level, like, I'm not going to walk out of here until I say my piece. Like, I mean, y'all know this. I just worked a series of 80, 90-hour weeks plus for MEMPHIS.
Yeah, I think
I've had no direction or explanation since we've come back. Our CEO has been assassinated. I've done nothing but bend over backwards for this organization to the point where I'm wondering if this is a prank.
It's not a prank. I would never do that.
So I'm just trying to understand. And
no, I understand. It's time to.
So do I get to have a conversation with Dylan? Do I get to have a conversation with Justin or anybody? Or
nope.
No, and there's no explanation as to why I'm gonna let go, despite.
Right now, we're moving on.
You know, and you're going to keep saying a different direction, but I'm trying to understand how I've met multiple times with my.
We're going a different direction with the team, and I have to ask you to leave now.
You have to ask me to leave the property?
Yes,
Due to what, Frank?
because we're asking you to leave because you've been terminated and we're not.
But there's no explanation or documentation for this. I've never had one bad review from Dylan. I've never had one issue with the company. I've never done anything unethical. And so I'm sitting here understanding why my entire livelihood is being completely tossed out. I mean, I sat in this chair.
You're gonna do great things.
No, and I
your
plan
livelihood.
to.
I don't think your livelihood's being tossed out. I think you're
Well-
very successful.
Well, my paycheck every other week is being tossed out, Frank, with absolutely no warning whatsoever.
I understand. At this time, it's time for you to go.
It's time for me to go. Why? Like this is the treatment that Turning Point is offering now.
It's time to go.
Frank, this is crazy.
Baby.
I understand where you come from.
I don't think.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh, but she ain't never been a part of a layoff before. I mean, okay, she must be young. Or she really thought they was family. Bless her heart.
Best.
Yeah,
I've had no direction or explanation since we've come back. Our CEO has been assassinated. I've done nothing but bend over backwards for this organization to the point where I'm wondering if this is a prank.
It's not a prank. I would never do that.
So I'm just trying to understand. And
No, I understand. It's time to.
so do I get to have a conversation with Dylan? Do I get to have a conversation with Justin or anybody? Or
Nope.
no? And there's no explanation as to why I'm gonna let go, despite
Right now, we're moving on.
and you're gonna keep saying a different direction. But I'm trying to understand how I've met multiple times with my.
We're going a different direction with the team, and I have to ask you to leave now.
You have to ask me to leave the property.
Yes,
Due to what, Frank?
because we're asking you to leave because you've been terminated and we're not.
But there's no explanation or documentation.
Ooh, I
for this.
hope
I've
she
never
wasn't
had
never
one bad
intimate with
review from
nobody
Dylan.
at
I've
that
never had
job.
one
It kinda
issue with the
sound like
company.
it.
I've never done anything unethical.
Frank.
And so I'm sitting here understanding why
Cold-blooded,
my
yeah.
entire livelihood is being completely tossed out. I mean, I sat in this chair.
You're gonna do great things.
No, and I
Think you're
plan
likely
to.
to-
Now, naturally, Orleans, you know, most time if you're being terminated, you know, I don't know why they try to make it seem like terminated and laid off, like the company is going in a different direction and all that type of stuff. You know, laid off and you're fired. Do they give you a year in? They give you a severance package. They give you a package when you being laid off. So that year-end performance, I don't know why they wording it like that. Because if you terminate it, you just terminate it. You don't get nothing. But if you are laid off, which is kind of how they're putting it, they normally would go over that package with you. But a year-end bonus, yeah, no. I mean, it's better than nothing, but I don't know if and I don't know why it's the same thing. Hell, you don't have a job, but if they're doing a company-wide layoff, they normally will. But that's not what they're doing. They just letting go people because they think that they telling Candace their business. So she really just fired. And if she fired, she don't get no year-end bonus.
Today's the last day, and that's what we're gonna operate now.
That's what we're gonna
It's
offer.
not an excuse. There's nothing really to listen to other than her not being able to get an answer of what she did wrong. And I'm making this very clear to you. I am not kidding. I promise you on everything. I had never in my life communicate. I mean, maybe I saw her in the event. I don't know. I shouldn't say never in my life. Maybe was backstage. I never spoke to this employee once. Never anything.
Yeah, I'm just trying to, because one minute she sound like she fired,
so this can't
and
be related
another
to
minute
me.
it
I don't
sound
think it's
like they
related to
doing
me,
like a
but
company
let's take a
layoff.
listen. Anyways,
But
but they're all convinced they're just paranoid and firing a bunch of people. Take a listen.
I mean, Frank, this is kind of wild.
I understand where you're coming from.
I know, and I know best to be here, and
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not really content leaving for the day without further documentation, explanation, anything.
I understand, but it's time to go. We're just gonna say today's the last day, and that's what we're gonna operate now.
and there's nothing else y'all are going to offer me or plan to offer me. No, I'll send you an email about off-boarding instructions, but essentially it outlines briefings that you did. So there's
Oh,
some more,
sure.
and then detailing the pay and when you sit out.
And you will receive your year-end bonus from your performance for the year, so that will be in that paycheck too.
Okay. So, I mean,
Yeah.
this is crazy.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming
No,
from.
and I know you're going to keep saying that I
Yeah.
understand. Like, I know that.
No, I know.
And I know there's probably no magic string of words that I could piece together to procure some type of answer, but
Yeah.
I think on a surface level, like, I'm not going to walk out of here until
I'm
I see
trying
that
to
piece. Like,
find
I
the
mean, y'all know
mole. Yep.
this. I just worked a series of 80, 90-hour weeks plus for MEMPHIS.
Yeah, I think
I've had
it's,
no direction or explanation since we've come back. Our CEO's been assassinated. I've done nothing but bend over backwards for this organization to the point where I'm wondering if this is a prank.
it's not a prank.
But it's kind of like when she said, "Really, Frank?" Like she know him. Like, really, like, like, like I gave you my cookie. I mean, I promise I don't know why it sounded like to me when she said his name.
So I'm just trying to understand. And
No, I understand. It's time to.
so do I get to have a conversation with Dylan? Do I get to have a conversation with Justin or anybody or
Nope.
no? And there's no explanation as to why I'm gonna let go. Despite
Right now, we're moving on.
you know, and you're gonna keep saying a different direction, but I'm trying to understand how I've met multiple times with my
We're going in a different direction with the team, and I have to ask you to leave now.
you have to ask me to leave the property?
Yes,
Due to what, Frank?
because we're asking you to leave because you've been
That right
terminated. We're
there.
not.
But there's no explanation or documentation for this. I've never had one bad review from Dylan. I've never had one issue with the
Yeah.
company. I've never done anything unethical. And so I'm sitting here understanding why my entire livelihood is being completely tossed out. I mean, I sat
No,
in this chair.
you're gonna do great things.
No, and I
Your
plan
livelihood.
to.
I don't
Frank.
think you're.
Don't
I don't think
play
your
with
livelihood's being
me.
tossed out. I think you're
Well-
very successful.
Well, my paycheck every other week is being tossed out, Frank, with absolutely no warning whatsoever.
At this time, it's time for you to.
It's time for me to go. Why? Like this
Because-
is the treatment that Turning Point is offering now.
It's time. It's time we go.
Frank, this is crazy.
I understand where you're coming from.
I don't think you do. This feels very heartless. This feels without emotion.
Designers are heartless,
This feels
baby.
completely without emotion.
I feel very comfortable, but at this time, I have to pass feedback to us.
Frank, I'm really not content doing that.
Okay.
Because I know that when I leave there, my credential's not going to get back in, and I'm never going to have the opportunity to speak with somebody at this company as to why I'm being terminated after never having my performance questioned, after never doing anything wrong, after working tirelessly through the death of Charlie. This is wild. And you can, like, that's completely unsatisfactory. And so I have to go home tonight with no plan, no understanding, asking for clarity multiple weeks in a row. And I'm confused. I sat in your office when that whole GC situation happened. And you said, and I quote, that if you don't get that job, I'm going to personally think that you got screwed over. And now I'm sitting here and I'm getting screwed over in a completely different capacity with no explanation.
Yep, I understand where you're coming, but at this time,
So there's going to be absolutely no explanation as to why I'm terminated. So when I go to my next job, I can't explain as to why this chapter is closed.
we're going in a different direction. With
That's not an explanation, Frank.
It's the
It is
explanation.
the explanation.
Providing from who?
From the organization.
From who, though? Justin, from
From
Dylan,
the
from...
organization. I only speak to the organization. I don't-
So different direction means what? Losing people that bend over backwards.
I promise I hear that. I promise I am here. Really, Frank? I mean, it just seems like it's kind of personal, or like this has to be her first job. It's like, Spec said, give me, give me back my panties, Frank. I mean, you led me to believe that I was secure. I'm going all the way. You you got me. I believed you. I gave you the cookies, and now you're saying go get off the property. Like like you pushing me out of your apartment and closing the door real fast and say go. Like she want to fight, but Erica standing there. Somebody why are we breaking up, Frank? I mean, you have to tell me. Yeah, I'm moving on. But that's not an explanation, Frank. You need to tell me why. Love don't live. Hi, Anna. Love don't live here no more. I mean, we're just moving in. Who is we? I mean, she said I can't be getting fired, so it's as if she's never been laid off before because she wants an explanation. Listen, I ain't never been in trouble. I ain't never been rolled up. I've had, wait, what? And he don't want to say, yeah, you been laid off, or listen, we trying to find out who. Have you been talking to Candace? Yeah, we think it's you. So I don't, yeah, just go ahead and go. Like leave the building? Yeah, like leave the building. Boo-boo. Yeah, it's time to go. Yeah. She want her panties back, y'all. You a dozen, baby girl? Specs don't do that. Yeah, but you was telling me in my ear that I was the only one, that I was the best that you ever had. Yeah. I mean, I know I tell all of I know. But you gotta go. She thought she had that fire. That's what he told her. He just didn't tell her that he tell everybody that. Yeah, I got this funny little ooh and ooh, and yeah, I know my toes curled and ooh, yeah, I know. This is kind of how I shake it. Yeah, I know. I tell it. Yeah, I know. I need to stop that, don't I? I need to stop making everybody feel like. Auntie P, why you laughing at? But can't y'all hear her when she starts saying, but Frank, like really, Frank? Frank ass need to get out of HR, but Big Daddy. Oh my God, that's what's gonna happen to Erica when Trump get tired of her, when she's no longer needed, and she's gonna be like, I killed my husband. Yeah, she gonna be the same way. Erica's gonna be the same way. Erica is going to be the same way. Absolutely. Because she thinks she is sold in. Oh yeah. Your mama and daddy, yeah, we gonna get them to they necks. Bless her heart, Lord.
For the organization, losing people that would be willing to do anything for the organization, losing people that hadn't done anything wrong, like.
You're silly.
I would do anything for the organization, baby girl. We love Poppy J. So that fire was actually a fire extinguisher. Got to be more careful, baby. Oh, wait. She said, I gave my best move. I gave my best. I just, oh my God. You pulled my head back and everything, and I ate the pickle. You told me. Oh my God, she sounds so young. Oh my God. I mean, but listen, baby girl, let me help you out. Even some old heads still believe everything they tell you in your ear when they in there. I mean, they in there. They in there like Mo Better Blues, like, Y'all can't see my head. Y'all know how he did, like, You in there? Well, did y'all remember Mo Better Blues? And he said you was like in there. Yeah, dog. I was in there. Oh God. He was in there. He was in there. God, dog, she believed everything he told her, cause he was in there.
I understand what you're saying, and we're taking on it, but right now it's time for you to go. So, at too many times, say your piece, and now it's time for you to. So,
Like how? Okay. Well, this is.
At Raising Cane's,
Wow,
we
y'all
focus on
please
making
hit the
the
like
most
button,
crispy chicken finger meal. Getting
cause
them
we
right
in
every
there.
time.
We in there, in there. Wow, yeah.
I honestly can't even imagine this at all. 80 to 90-hour weeks.
Oh, well,
Your
yeah.
CEO just got publicly assassinated.
Y'all
And
know
you've
that
not
don't matter.
stopped working since. You think you're going in because they're going to be like, hey, we've made $250 million and like, we see you. We see you. And they say, we're moving in a different direction.
She said, we see you. We see you. We gonna see you out the door. We see you. We see you. We see you out the door. Let's go. We see you. We see you. We see you out the door right now. You gotta go. You gotta go. We see you. They see you out the door. Now, if you know, they unalive Charlie after he started his business. You working 89, 90 hours a week, busting your ass. They don't care. They are users and they are thieves, baby girl. Now, I asked y'all, are we popping? Did you hit the like button? Y'all, come on, get the likes up. We see you. Now, see your way out the door. Everything you own in a box. Absolutely. She said, I gotta go right now? Like off the premises? Yeah, boo boo. Don't listen, Sally. Don't make me call security. Security! Yeah, it's taking you too long. We got another desk we gotta go to, boo boo. Come on, you holding us up. Ain't nothing you can say. We think you've been compromised. Yeah.
I honestly can't even imagine this at all. 80 to 90-hour weeks. Your CEO just got publicly assassinated. And you've not stopped working since. You think you're going in because they're going to be like, hey, we've made $250 million and like, we see you. We see you. And they say, we're moving in a different direction. And we actually, you're not even allowed to speak to everyone that you just worked for. You're not even allowed to see.
No.
And they're just having beefy security guards there to walk you out. She is correct in saying that this is heartless. Is it illegal? No.
I mean, that happens all the time now.
A lot of the stuff, as we've said, the common theme here is what Turning Point is doing is legal, but it's also immoral. I wouldn't do it. I would be so honest, like, look, we appreciate obviously everything you've done. You've been killing yourself. You know what? We're a little paranoid schizo right now, and we just don't know who to trust. We gotta get rid of everybody. Erika has no trust. That's why she doesn't want to be in here, because she doesn't know who's actually the person leaking. Give that girl something. I've asked, and I've spoken to a few of the people. That same person that you heard, their general counsel, then showed up at someone's house. The setup here was crazy.
They went to somebody's house?
Okay. Marina Minas, this is the Uber chick. The Marina Minas, she, I don't know, I guess she's the one out here. I shouldn't say sniping employees. That's not the right analogy to use, especially given the circumstances. But she's kind of involved in a lot of this for some reason. Her name keeps coming up. And so another person set up this kind of fake Zoom. This employee is part-time. They kind of set up this fake Zoom meeting. And so she's at home. She's logged in this meeting and her phone's ringing. I'm going to say allegedly, but this is what happened. Allegedly, Her phone's ringing nonstop, nonstop. She doesn't recognize the number. She doesn't know what's happening. She's still on this call. Eventually, she picks up, and it's the general counsel. And he's like, hey, I'm outside. You're fired. And come to the door and let me in to get your work computer. And let me tell you something right now. If you try to delete anything, just so you know, we've installed something and we'll know that you did it. She has no idea what's happening. She's home with her kids, alone with her kids. She doesn't have her husband there, nothing. And so obviously she just complies. My sense when I hear that story is they thought they were going to find something. They thought they had, there's some sort of paranoia going on. And maybe they thought the same thing with this girl. They were going to grab the tech and they were going to find something. Then this girl, but rolling up at someone's house? I don't know. I guess she's the one out here. I shouldn't say sniping employees. That's not the right analogy to use, especially given the circumstances. But she's kind of involved in a lot of this for some reason. Her name keeps coming up. And so another person set up this kind of fake Zoom. This employee is part-time. It kind of set up this fake Zoom meeting. And so she's at home. She's logged in this meeting and her phone's ringing. I'm going to say allegedly, but this is what happened. Allegedly. Her phone's ringing nonstop, nonstop. She doesn't recognize the number. She doesn't know what's happening. She's still on this call. Eventually, she picks up, and it's the general counsel. And he's like, hey, I'm outside. You're fired. And come to the door and let me in to get your work computer. And let me tell you something right now. If you try to delete anything, just so you know, we've installed something, and we'll know.
Well, shut it down then.
She has no idea what's happening. She's home with her kids. Alone with her kids. She doesn't have her husband there, nothing. And so obviously she just complies. My sense when I hear that story is they thought they were going to find something. They thought they had, there's some sort of paranoia going on. Maybe they thought the same thing with this girl. They were going to grab the tech and they were going to find something. Then this girl, but rolling up at someone's house? Like, what?
Oh, wow. Yeah, now you need to send FedEx. You need to send somebody to come get this box. Come get the computer. I ain't never gave you permission to come to my house.
We are who we are. We just have to try to be the best version of ourselves.
Y'all, come on, get the lights up. Oh, Lord.
You and me, we don't get a choice.
Get off of it.
You can keep sending them. I'll keep killing them.
Dude!
See, Candace was getting too much information. You know, I'm, you know, Candace was getting a lot of intel. She was getting a lot of intel, in-house intel. I ain't gonna even lie. They only fire the females. Yeah, but you're not coming in my house and you not listening. Y'all doing some, yeah, no, they doing some. And I bet not do what? I don't work for y'all no more. Oh yeah, no. We need to schedule a time or I can bring it or you can have FedEx, but no. No, I don't know what y'all got going on. I don't know. I don't even like how this feel. 40 people have been fired and she's still getting the information. Absolutely.
Illegal? No. You could do this. A lot of the stuff, as we've said, the common theme here is what Turning Point is doing is legal, but it's also immoral. I wouldn't do it.
Well,
I would be so honest, like, look, we
so I know they want to say, well, blame Candace. Blame Candace. Get Candace to hire y'all because somebody is feeding her the information from in-house. Yeah, no. Yeah, she's been too on point, and then now Baron, she has help. Now she has a. Oh, this done fell over. It done fell over. Yeah, now she got help. Now she got a whole team. Oh yeah, nah. So who next? Who gonna be at her house next? Talking about every damn thing we've been having going on. And the ratings and the numbers. They just had that thing. Heaven making heaven crowded or whatever that mess was yesterday. Didn't nobody tap into that foolishness. I mean, they may have, but the numbers ain't the same. And it ain't because of Candace. Yeah, yeah. It's because Charlie ain't there. Charlie is who brought them in, boo boo. Y'all just don't have it. No. Y'all don't have the energy. Y'all don't have the spirit. Y'all don't have none of that. And majority of y'all like boy booty, and he liked girls. So yeah, no. He told somebody no. Yeah, ain't no telling what they was finna try to do to him for him to be saying, hi LaSalle, hey Brian. Yeah. The y'all can y'all double tap and hit the like button for me? LaSalle and Brian, get the likes up for me. I would greatly appreciate it. If you're on your phone, you can just double tap it. And if you're on your computer, you can hit the 3 dots at the top right. I would greatly appreciate it. Come on in and laugh with us, because this right here is fun.
Appreciate obviously everything you've done, even killing yourself.
Nope. But I am going to say now, yeah, I mean, I get it. But if I done plotted and unalive this guy, and somebody is feeding Candace everything, it would be different if she was off point. And we cannot persuade the people to turn against Candace. We done threatened to shoot her through the phone. We done tried to put a red dot on her forehead. You know, we done tried to scare her. We done tried to do a whole bunch of stuff. Now she know the airplane. Now somebody at what's the name of that place? Hakachuka. Now they saying yes, that is Erica. Her mama be here. Here is the other movie she was in. Oh Lord, they know everything. Yeah, boo, we pretty much we know it. Yep. Baron has quit his job. Baron who? To do YouTube behind this. Really? The Baron that was on her show? Yep. I wish I was making that type of money. I get it, y'all. Come on. I need can 15 people hit the like button for me that have not already hit it. Hit those 3 dots at the top right corner. Yeah. But if I wasn't guilty of something, she done connected Liberty. She done connected these people from way back. She done went to Jerry Falwell, or Roberts, Evangelica. I tried to hide the angels. You know, only person that was really still talking about it was Auntie Fee. You know, then somebody done brought the pictures out. They done spotted the same military guy. Yeah, that's a lot, y'all. Cause whatever she don't get, I know I'm getting it. I'll get it. Ain't that the same? Here I go, Auntie Fee with her. Oh, it's gonna fall over again. Auntie Fee with her good blind eye ass. I thought she said she was losing her vision. I thought she said her eyes had finally went bad. How the hell she see that man in the back and said, yeah, he looked familiar. How he look familiar in your ass? Say you can't see like you used to. Huh? Yeah. I don't seen that before. Yeah. I'm telling y'all, I would be ooh-wee. Because if they that paranoid, they know that if they wasn't on the right side, they asses would have been in jail by now. Y'all do know that, right? They do know. And now Erika's saying, hell, now they're saying that Tyler was not the killer. You know, who do they think is the killer? Exactly. And I promise y'all, a lot of CHARLIEKIRK stuff started coming up on IG and Facebook today. Where it was Sasha, a lot of it was Tyler. I mean, hold on, let's hurry up. Y'all get the lights up. I'll show you. Let's go. Because I pushed a lot of stuff over there today.
Stopped working since. You think you're going in because they're going to be like, hey, we've made $250 million and like, we see you. And they say, we're moving in a different direction. And we actually, you're not even allowed to speak to everyone that you just worked for. You're not even allowed to see, and then just having beefy security guards there.
That's why it sounds like it's a layoff,
She's
y'all.
correct in saying that this is heartless. Is it
that
illegal?
That sound more like a layoff.
You could do this. A lot of the stuff, as we've said, the common theme here is what Turning Point is doing is legal.
Auntie and tell us what Big Daddy did to you.
I wouldn't do it. I would be so honest, like, look, we appreciate obviously everything you've done. You've been killing yourself. You know what? We're a little paranoid schizo right now, and we just don't know who to trust. We gotta get rid of everybody. Erika has no trust. That's why she doesn't want to be in here, because she doesn't know who's actually the person leaking. Give that girl something. I've asked, and I've spoken to a few of the people. That same person that you heard, their general counsel, then showed up at someone's house. The setup here was crazy.
Oh, no.
What happened to this next girl is crazy, okay? Marina Minas, this is the Uber chick.
That's a no.
The Marina Minas, she, I don't know, I guess she's the one out here. I shouldn't say sniping employees. That's not the right analogy to use, especially given the circumstances. But she's kind of involved in a lot of this for some reason. Her name keeps coming up. And so another person set up this kind of fake Zoom. This employee is part-time.
This is
a no for this fake Zoom meeting. And so she's at home. She's logged in this meeting, and her phone's ringing. I'm going to say allegedly, but this is what happened. Allegedly. Her phone's ringing nonstop. She doesn't recognize the number. She doesn't know what's happening. She's still on this call. Eventually, she picks up. And it's the general counsel. And he's like, hey, I'm outside. You're fired. And come to the door and let me in to get your work computer. And let me tell you something right now. If you try to delete anything, just so you know, we've installed something and we'll know that you did it. She has no idea what's happening. She's home with her kids, alone with her kids. She doesn't have her husband there, nothing. And so obviously she just complies. My sense when I hear that story is they thought they were going to find something. They thought there's some sort of paranoia going on. Maybe they thought the same thing with this girl. They were going to grab the tech and they were going to find something. Then this girl, but rolling up at someone's house? Like, what? Dude, this could have been an email. No one wants what's on this computer. You're good. You can literally read what's everything. This is wild to me. Again, same exact situation. I had never once spoken to that person, not through a third party, nothing. Never spoke to that person either. It seems like a little bit of paranoia is going on, but the manner in which they are handling this, I don't know, guys. What's your vibe? What's happening here? What could have happened that would lead to this? How do you treat people like this that are...
The IRS, and then there's a couple of other things that can be going on as well. Because Butts done sparked the fake LLS, a missing $8 million, midterm is coming, it's not looking good, all these businesses that are not officially, so somebody on the inside that's working for the government that is setting up these LLCs. It's organized crime now at its finest. You understand? It's a lot. It's a lot going on illegally that Charlie may have been on, and now somebody is telling Candace what they may have told Charlie. And the dollars, the checks and balances ain't balancing. You understand? It's a lot going on. So they may have gotten a letter. I know they made $250 million. How much of that is donations? That's kind of sound like what Charlie was saying. It's a lot of money coming in. Where is it going? Where did it come from? So that number, the dollar amount, it sounds like Trump is kind of in that too. You know, that inflation, you know, tax season coming, so they need to have some losses, you know. You understand? It may be, you know, they laying off because, you know, I don't know. Whoever been cooking the books, they can't cook them no more because there's a whole bunch of different eyes on them now. For real. I mean, for real, for real. Cause if somebody giving it, tipping it to Candace, reckon they ain't tipping it other places too. Yeah, I'm finna get ready to shut it down. I'm close, but I'm not close enough. Yeah, so it's a lot going on, and I'm telling you, Sasha was in there too, but I got a lot of Charlie Kirk stuff. Hold on, yeah, I keep asking folks to hit the like button.
Actually, I would say remarkably staying bottled up and not, they should have been leaking if this is the stress they've been going through. I mean, working 80, 90-hour weeks and just being like, peace, goodbye, nothing. Again, I'm a
They're not the only people
Turning Point
that's
USA.
happened to you, but they are everybody
this
watching
ain't it.
the
This is not it. But also,
absolutely.
maybe you're the kind of donor that
And I'm
sends Charlie
telling
those
you,
kinds
they
of
just
messages.
had a function yesterday.
You like it. You're into that. It
And
feels
you-
like the right thing
you
to do.
really didn't-
Like
it
everybody's
didn't-
got to go. And it's giving paranoid and it's giving cult-like, but
It
this
really
is
didn't probably do what it normally do.
not it. Anyway, we will have a lot more. We also now are in possession of a Zoom call, which Erika held as the new CEO just 5 days after Charlie was publicly assassinated. And one of the strangest things is that she recommends that if employees need time to grieve, that they take time off. What's strange about that is the employees are like, maybe you need to take time off because your husband just got publicly assassinated. They thought it was very strange, and apparently she didn't. Now everyone's saying she was in the
wasn't
office
working.
every
I
day
thought she was
with
at
Stacey
the-
Sheridan. I told you that's like the chief fundraiser lady. They're in the office every day following Charlie's assassination. They got to that 250 million, so I guess it was worth it. But the people thought it was a bit off-putting, and we have that call, and I can confirm that's not hearsay. That is true. She does recommend that they need to. They take time off to grieve, which is nice, but also makes me mildly uncomfortable. Anyway, you guys, we will take a brief break.
Get
and
the
we will
lights
come
up.
back.
I'm 3
All right,
hours
you guys,
in.
if you are a homeowner, you need a mortgage rate that you're enjoying, but interest
Oh, they
free up your
said
cash flow and
that Section 8 will pay your rent.
I just need more space. I feel like I'm suffocating. Oh no. Is this the episode?
Somebody in the chat said the way that girl fired was evil and it was just not Christian. I totally agree with that. Your reason can be anything. This is actually a true.
I can't do the Christian thing with this because people get laid off all the time. Now I know that we are saying that it was because of the leakage. I get it, but people get laid off all the time, and we can't say that it's not. I mean, and without explanation, and sometimes with explanation, and you can't say that it's not Christian. So here come when the folks say it ain't personal, it's business. And if it ain't family, then, you know, I don't know. But baby girl do sound young. How many people lost their job with Trump? I mean, how many people lost their job 2025, 2026? Amazon, they were saying Walmart. I mean, banks, IRS. I mean, not the IRS, but the government. How many people lost their job, y'all? Come on now, for real. Now, I know that this is about Candace, but how many people lost their job? Yeah, tell them, come on over here and tell us.
going through so many
Take a
emotions
seat.
after
Tell
Charlie's
us.
assassination, and I just communicated that to people. And we definitely, obviously, went through some changes on the security front, which makes sense because I think all of us in the world felt unsafe when somebody who's a good person can be assassinated in broad daylight. And I was very happy with my current security apparatus and sort of said to them as we were changing things, like, this is me. I was like, you've done nothing wrong. I am just beyond paranoid, and here's what I have to do to solve my paranoia. I just kind of blurted at them and said, you've been amazing. This is totally a me thing. It is not you. And it was great. It was such a healthy conversation. They said they totally understood and that they knew that I was going to have these sorts of concerns. And I said, I hope I can work with you down the line. I'm sure down the line I could come back to you in 12 months and feel totally differently. But right now I'm just in a certain state right now that this doesn't work for me in this moment. Again, they were fantastic. There was no reason other than
What
me
kids?
needing to
They
feel
back
like
at the
I needed to make some
orphanage.
changes. So they could have done that. They could have been honest and said, you've been amazing, and we're a little paranoid right now, and we just have to go through some changes. There's no humanity in that, and I do agree with you that there is a lack of Christianity in the way that that was handled, and the fact that she thought for a second it was a joke because of how hard she had worked. It's sad. It genuinely is sad. And she's not the only one. She's just the one person who had the wherewithal to go, let me hit record because I don't know what's happening right now. Anyways, you guys, if you'd like to support this show, we've got new merch on the website. You can also buy our autographed bundle. It is the hard copies of Make Him a Sandwich and Black Apple.
Hold on, y'all. I'm so sick of this. Let me get over. Oh, I'm okay with that. Hold on.
This bump saved my life.
Spit.
We're Maurice's, and we're here.
Oh, y'all, I gotta get the likes up, please. Oh my God. Let me see.
Here to give you that styled feeling.
Perhaps not an entire series, but a couple of episodes dedicated to that, which we have been working on. No storm coming tomorrow, which is changing a lot. The South.
Yeah, the South.
There's no humanity in that, and I do agree with. It was such a healthy conversation. They obviously went through some change. It can be anything. This is actually a true story because I was going through so many. Owens.
Okay.
Somebody in the chat said the way that girl fired was evil and it was just not Christian. I totally agree with that. Your reason can be anything. This is actually a true story because I was going through so many emotions after Charlie's assassination, and I just communicated that to people. And we definitely, obviously, went through some changes on the security front, which makes sense because I think all of us in the world felt unsafe when somebody who's a good person can be assassinated in broad daylight. And I was very happy with my current security apparatus and sort of said to them as we were changing things, like, this is me. I was like, you've done nothing wrong. I am just beyond paranoid, and here's what I have to do to solve my paranoia. I just kind of blurted at them and said, you've been amazing. This is totally a me thing. It is not you. And it was great. It was such a healthy conversation. They said they totally understood and that they knew that I was going to have these sorts of concerns. And I said, I hope I can work with you down the line. I'm sure down the line I could come back to you in 12 months and feel totally differently. But right now I'm just in a certain state right now that this doesn't work for me in this moment. Again, they were fantastic. There was no reason other than me needing to feel like I needed to make some changes. So they could have done that. They could have been honest and said, you've been amazing, and we're a little paranoid right now, and we just have to go through some changes. There's no humanity in that, and I do agree with you that there is a lack of Christianity in the way that that was handled, and the fact that she thought for a second it was a joke because of how hard she had worked. It's sad. It genuinely is sad. And she's not the only one. She's just the one person who had the wherewithal to go, let me hit record because I don't know what's happening right now. Anyways, you guys, if you'd like to support this show, we've got new merch on the website. You can also buy our autographed bundle. It is the hard copies of Make Him a Sandwich and Blackout, both hand signed by me. Telling you guys, we have a massive snowstorm coming tomorrow, which is changing a lot. The South shuts down when there are snowstorms, and we have it coming on Saturday. Long story short, we have a wedding that was supposed to be on Saturday that's now happening tomorrow. So for the book club, we're making it earlier tomorrow. You might be at work. If you are, you can still catch it, of course, on the website, but you probably won't be able to catch it live. I hope you are. This is going to be tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern.
Shut down.
So just giving you guys that little update. It'll be earlier than we had initially anticipated
And
to accommodate all the changes to our schedule
y'all came
over the
in
weekend.
and
The
didn't hit the
South
like
does
button.
not do
Ouch.
snow. I'm a Connecticut girl. We do snow. Tennessee, they don't do snow.
No.
Life shuts down for about a week. Let's
Not
read
a
the top
week.
comment from last episode. It is from Miss Sways. She writes, "We need an ERIKAKIRK series, just like the Brigitte Macron series." Well, I do want to do, perhaps not an entire series, but a couple of episodes dedicated to that, which we have been working on in the background to give everybody something solid. There's a lot of, like I said, innuendo online, some things that are true, some things that are not true. But I do think, given the size and scale of this company, the public does deserve, and since the media is never going to do it, the mainstream media apparatus is never going to do it, something that is solid and backed by facts and documents that tells you about who this new CEO is. Because I think it's fair to say she is not Charlie. I can't imagine Charlie would have allowed that to happen. That
Charlie
made me
didn't
so
know who she
uncomfortable, and I'm
was.
sure made the rest of you guys uncomfortable to listen to. But hey, the good news is we're getting a lot more information about Turning Point USA. So
Charlie
there
didn't
is,
know who she was.
I guess sort of the natural karma to that. Some more
be
comments
lying
from
about,
today's episode. Gray
she
Scout
was
writes,
eating
Candace Owens, Ian Carroll, Barry
in and
Coleman,
out.
Glenn Greenwald,
Oh,
George
yeah, she
Galloway,
lying.
Scott Ritter, Jeffrey Sachs, Ryan Grimm, Jeremy
I don't believe nothing she
Scahill, Amy Goodman, Jack Valley, David Grush, George Knapp, Bob Lazar, and Dr. Stephen Greer Hart. Thank you very much for saying that. Rosario writes, why can't she spell out G-O-D? It reminds me of how Erica never says Jesus Christ. She just can't say it. She only ever says the Lord or God. I wonder which Lord and God she's really talking about. Biblical Israel was a people, not a land or its government. You will not get a disagreement with me. I am Catholic about that at all.
People need to get that. They need to start saying it.
Spell out G-O-D. It reminds me of how Erica never says Jesus Christ. She just can't say it. She only ever says the Lord or God. I wonder which Lord and God she's really talking about. Biblical Israel was a people, not a land or its government. You will not get a disagreement with me.
Absolutely.
I am Catholic about that at all. And I think, like I said, Christian Zionism has been put on trial this year, and I'm happy for that. I think we're all awakening, and this is clearly not a religion, a religious philosophy at all.
It's not going. Yeah,
they
it's
act like a cult.
Listen, hold on. That they have absolutely been put on trial. Absolutely have been put on trial. And yeah, you are an imposter, just like you're not a Jew. You are yeah, no. You're a settler. You're a fraud. And everything that you pushing is a fraud. And that letter, or whoever, I'm telling you something. That letter better not be from Erica. It better not be from Erica. But she said that she's been firing. If I go back to that, I could have sworn I heard her say the way that they have been firing after hearing that letter.
There are many evangelical Christian Zionists who would never give these people the opportunity to spew their hatred. I'm one of them. You say people are accusing you of being an anti-Semite because you disagree with the Israeli government. Well, what is it exactly that you disagree with? You threatened Jews and Christians with your 30 million followers. Are you kidding? Be very careful, Charlie.
That sounds like the Erica that says, stop. Stop. That sounds like that Erica.
You are in violation of the 9th commandment by bearing false witness against your brother Judah. When was the last time you read your Bible, Charlie? I'm coming to you as a believer. Genesis 12:3. Obadiah and many more prophets warned that those who curse Israel will be cursed. Your TPUSA Tampa event was a disaster. Michelle Bachmann was booed, and about 10% walked out on her when she talked about standing with Israel. You brag about how you convinced all these young voters to vote for Trump, but you can't convince them to stand with our Jewish brethren. This is not a joke, Charlie. I'm coming to you as a sister in faith. You have accomplished so much by the hand of the Almighty, but he is going to lift his hand from you. Don't fall for Tucker, Candace, and the rest. The Jews are under attack. God warns us in the last days that he will wipe out the descendants of Edom because they stood by while their brothers, Jacob, Israel, was held in captivity and did nothing. Don't be counted among the Edomites. It will be to your peril, as well as the unfinished work God was going to do through you. But it's in a Bible verse, so he should be like chill with that. No, he wasn't chill with that. He did feel threatened by that. That feels like you're pretending to be a Christian, but you have specific marching orders, and you don't think there's a single reason why Charlie could reasonably critique what Israel is doing after what's been done in Gaza. They've effectively have turned Gaza into a parking lot, and this is how you come at him over Tucker's speech? Tucker's totally reasonable speech, speaking about Jeffrey Epstein. Hey, he harmed children. And he's being protected because he did that on behalf of Israel. He did that for Israel. The blackmail operation for Israel. Everybody knows that, including Gen Z. And you're telling Charlie it's his job to convince Gen Z, like he's a psychological operation, that that's okay? That what Jeffrey Epstein did is fine? Because he has to stand with Judah. He has to look at what happened. And he's got to flip to Genesis and understand that even when they are behaving murderously, even when they are harming children, he better figure out how to support them and how to lie to people about how he feels about what they're doing. That's really something, again, that you are hearing this from me. It is becoming increasingly difficult to imagine how Turning Point is not naming and shaming these people. I give them an opportunity here. Why don't you come out and say who sent Charlie that message? You won't. You won't. Of course you won't. You're lining up employees and firing them for literally no reason.
Right there. When she said you won't, you are lining them up and firing them for no reason.
Is not naming and shaming these people. I give them an opportunity here. Why don't you come out and say who sent Charlie that message? You won't. You won't. Of course you won't. You're lining up employees and firing them for literally no reason. We have proof of that later. Before we get to that proof and that video, I want to let you guys know that we received a very interesting tip.
Okay, let me move it on back down here. Yeah, so that's why it sounded like a female, because he said it's a female, it's a sister. A female, so she said, I'm coming to you like a sister in Christ.
There was no reason other than me needing to feel like I needed to make some changes. So they could have done that. They could have been honest and said, you've been amazing and we're a little paranoid right now and we just have to go through some changes. There's no humanity in that. And I do agree with you that there is a lack of Christianity in the way that that was handled. And the fact that she thought for a second it was a joke because of how hard she had worked. It's sad. It genuinely is sad. And she's not the only one. She's just the one person who had the wherewithal to go, let me hit record because I don't know what's happening right now. Anyways, you guys, if you'd like to support this show, we've got new merch on the website.
I'm almost finished, y'all.
It is from Miss Sways. She writes, we need an ERIKAKIRK series, just like the Brigitte Macron series. Well, I do want to do perhaps not an entire series, but a couple of episodes dedicated to that, which we have been working on in the background to give everybody something solid. There's a lot of, like I said, innuendo online, some things that are true, some things that are not true. But I do think, given the size and scale of this company, the public does deserve, and since the media is never going to do it, the mainstream media apparatus is never going to do it, something that is solid and backed by facts and documents that tells you about who this new CEO is. Because I think it's fair to say she is not Charlie. I can't imagine Charlie would have allowed that to happen. That made me so uncomfortable, and I'm sure it made the rest of you guys uncomfortable to listen to. But hey, the good news is we're getting a lot more information about Turning Point USA. And so there is, I guess, sort of the natural karma to that. Some more comments from today's episode. Gray Scout writes, Candace Owens, Ian Carroll, Baron Coleman, Glenn Greenwald, George Galloway, Scott Ritter, Jeffrey Sachs, Ryan Grimm, Jeremy Scahill, Amy Goodman, Jack Valley, David Grush, George Knapp, Bob Lazar, and Dr. Stephen Greer Hart. Thank you very much for saying that. Rosario writes, why can't she spell out G-O-D? It reminds me of how Erica never says Jesus Christ. She just can't say it. She only ever says the Lord or God. I wonder which Lord and God she's really talking about. Biblical Israel was a people, not a land or its government. You will not get a disagreement with me. I am Catholic about that at all. And I think, like I said, Christian Zionism has been put on trial this year, and I'm happy for that. I think we're all awakening, and this is clearly not a religion, a religious philosophy at all. They act like a cult. The behavior of them is like a cult, and it's always with this veneer of your loving Christian sister is telling you this, and you're like, why do I feel like you're going to harm me? But you are citing biblical scripture and trying to create this illusion like this is coming from the heart and is somehow not a threat. Maybe Turning Point will come out and say who that message is from. We'll see. Jason Blake writes, you do us and Charlie proud. Keep up the good fight. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the work that you do. The world is gay. Christ is king. All the best to you and yours. Thank you so much. Sugar Magnolia writes, TPUSA gives mega church series vibes now, led by Tammy Faye, Greenleaf, Righteous Gemstones. It's now giving all the things that people didn't follow and fall in love with Charlie Kirk for. Yes, I agree that Charlie Kirk, when we were hitting the ground, it was about free markets and capital, and he was never shy about discussing his faith. And like I said, it then dramatically changed, and it seems like they are now pretending to be a faith organization. Well, if you were going to pretend to be an organization that is dedicated to faith, then maybe treat your employees better than that. I don't know. I think that's a fair ask from the public. Cohen Film writes, there needs to be a TPUSA alternative that is America First and not Philadelphia First to reach young Americans. Young people avoid TPUSA. I think that will be the natural occurrence is when something will rise to take its place, when something becomes stale or dishonest or corporate, which, by the way, like I said, was exactly what Charlie set out to disrupt. He wanted to become the new RNC. He felt that people just gave the RNC millions, and yet they had no impact on the youth generation. He wanted to change that, and he did change that. And now it seems like in the wake of his assassination, it's becoming the new RNC, but with a faith bent. Is that fair? I think that's fair. I think my opinion's very fair. Yeah, I agree with you. I think something naturally will rise to take its place, and I think they know that. I think that's really what these legal letters are about. You cannot, however, sue your way into relevancy. You cannot sue your way into public favor. It doesn't work. That's old world mentality thinking. The people that are giving you that advice are wrong, and you are going to, like I said, it's a difficult hill to climb to say that you're being hurt by these videos when you raked in $250 million in a couple of weeks. I think it's a tough hill to climb. Maybe it's not. Maybe you've got some judges in your pockets. Who knows? It's Arizona. Maricopa County is one of the most corrupt counties in the nation. But outside of that, it just doesn't even make sense to pretend that you're hurting financially, especially as you are now getting rid of a bunch of people on your payroll. And I guess you're going to bring some new people in, and they're going to be questioned about their allegiance to Erica or something. Who knows? Anyway, that's what we have for you today, you guys. We will hopefully see you on Monday. We don't know how much snow we are going to get. Like I said, the infrastructure here, they just do not plow the roads, because in the north we have businesses and free markets get in there and don't have to rely on the government, but there'll be like a plow business. Everything is pretty much plowed overnight.
Okay, let me see what I got. 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 Let me see what I Let me see what I got. Erica Mama says. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to see. Some of it is before I go. Hold on. Natural Knowledge said, please hit the like button. Please hit the like button for me. Yeah, let me see what I got. What I done pushed over here. I got 9 minutes. I thought I put the message. Oh yeah, y'all better be careful.
I don't flex for attention, I exist in the field. I'm the crack in the
I need to watch. Oh, that cheese. They saying Pfizer. Pfizer. Is that about the Pfizer? I saw that cheese up here. I gotta read that one. That's too far. It's giving whatever it is. It's giving men, female breasts. Something they put. I can't see it. It's too small. But y'all gotta be careful because they saying Pfizer has taken over the cheese, and they put. Oh, here we go.
Notice how sometimes a tragedy feels too perfect? Like the timing, the aftermath, all of it just lines up a little too clean? That's what it felt like for us when Charlie was shot. Middle of the day, cameras rolling, whole world watching.
Oh, wow. How much? Okay, I can take it off. Okay. Let's try this again.
Notice how sometimes a tragedy feels too perfect? Like the timing, the aftermath, all of it just lines up a little too clean? That's what it felt like for us when Charlie was shot. Middle of the day, cameras rolling, whole world watching. And just like that, the future president of the United States of America,
the future president,
silenced forever.
Didn't I tell y'all that that's
Everybody
what
cried on camera.
Didn't I tell y'all that?
The fireworks, the tributes, the prayers, but behind the scenes,
didn't I tell y'all that?
Offices,
That was their plan.
Feel the relief, because within a week, everything exploded. Donations, attention, influence, sky high.
It's as if he was supposed to be the next president.
Started calling again.
Didn't I tell y'all what the lineup
the people
was?
Who were distancing themselves, suddenly they wanted meetings. Charlie was worth more dead than alive. And now, Turning Point USA is more powerful than it's ever been. And the
I don't
person
believe
running
that.
it, yeah, I'm talking about
maybe.
Erika, the one everybody treats like some kind of evangelical Joan of Arc. I used to work under her, and she's not who she pretends to be. Charlie figured that out near the end. I think that's why he's gone. See, before she came into the picture, he wanted to take us in a new direction, away from the whole Christian Zionist thing. He started saying it out loud, that America's movement needed to stand on its own, that we couldn't just keep doing PR for another country. And that's when everything started changing around him. People he trusted started keeping him out of meetings. His calendar got lost more than once. And then he started digging. He told a few of us, quietly, that he'd found stuff about her past. Not rumors, documents. Back when she was working with some orphanage in Romania. A place that suddenly shut down.
Oh, he didn't know that?
Israeli handlers introduced her to him. Turns out it wasn't an orphanage. It was something way darker, connected to Israel. Kids moved around like they were, I don't even want to say it. He found out the same people were planning on setting up new orphanages with Turning Point money here in the US under her direction. He said, and I'll never forget this, over my dead body. Now here we are. What people still don't know is that she's cruel. Like, weirdly cruel. She'd forget his birthday on purpose. She'd laugh about it. Their wedding anniversary? she'd forget that too.
I don't know if I
Even
believe
though
all
her whole
that.
damn wedding was paid for by Turning Point. One time, in front of staff, she told him, "You know, honey, if anything ever happens to you, things might finally run smooth around here for once." And she smiled when she said it. Not nervous, not joking, like she was
I
already
don't
the
know if I
boss.
believe that.
And here's
Hey,
the other part
Deborah.
nobody talks about. The staffing. Almost everyone in senior management, Mormon. It's not random. The CIA's been recruiting from that pool forever. You know why?
I believe that.
Because they're good at compartmentalizing. They can hold two worlds in their head, faith and function, and never let the wires cross. Perfect spooks. Perfect operators. Now, with her at the top, it's all locked down. The money's flowing. Israel is satisfied. And
I believe that.
he's just a ghost in the machine. They've rewritten who he was already.
I
They
believe
talk
that.
about his legacy like he's some concept, not a person who got assassinated in broad daylight. And the sickest part, it's playing out exactly how she used to say it would. He's gone, and she's running the show over his dead body, exactly like she promised. Notice how
Wow.
sometimes a
What y'all
tragedy
think?
feels too perfect?
Oh, you believe it all,
The
Ella?
timing, the aftermath.
Spook, you believe
all of
it?
just
Specs, I'm
lines up
sorry.
a little too clean. That's what it felt like for us when Charlie was shot. Middle of the day, cameras rolling, whole world watching. And just
I believe
like that,
everything
the
except
future president of the United States
a
of
few
America
little things she said.
silenced forever. Everybody cried on camera, sure. The fireworks, the tributes, the prayers.
I don't believe she said
But
that
behind
in
the
front of
scenes,
him.
in the
Things
executive
will run
offices,
smoother when you
you
gone.
could feel the relief. Because within a week, everything exploded. Donations, attention, influence, sky high. Donors that were ghosting us started calling again. The people who were distancing themselves, suddenly, they wanted meetings.
I believe that.
Charlie was worth more dead than alive. And now, Turning Point USA is more powerful than it's ever been. And the person running it? Yeah, I'm talking about Erika, the one everybody treats like some kind of evangelical Joan of Arc.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. It's almost midnight. I'm in.
Charlie figured that out near the end. I think that's why he's gone. See, before she came into the picture, he wanted to take us in a new direction, away from the whole Christian Zionist thing. He started saying it out loud, that America's movement needed to stand on its own, that we couldn't just keep doing PR for another country. And that's when everything started changing around him. People he trusted started keeping him out of meetings. His calendar got lost, and then he started digging. He told a few of us, quietly, that he'd found stuff about her past.
I believe that.
Not rumors, documents. Back when she was working with some
Okay, y'all, I
orphanage
gotta
in
go.
Romania,
It's almost midnight.
a place that suddenly shut down not long before Israeli handlers introduced her to him. Turns out it wasn't an orphanage, it was something way darker, connected to Israel. Kids moved around like they were, I don't even want to say it. He found out the same people were planning on setting up new orphanages with Turning Point money here in the US under her direction. He said, and I'll never forget this, "Over my dead body." Now here we are. What people still don't know is that she's cruel